disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. Just, I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
We just killed those fucking men.
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. Yeah, because you got nothing. Lobito! Got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA boxing.
No, that doesn't work either.
All right. No, welcome everybody to the Boxing Podcast, broadcasting to you live from the True North. This is your good friend, Mr. BDA, and I sure am glad. No, sure I'm glad that everybody could be on board for this one, fellas. Hey, listen. I mean, does this week really need an introduction? Well, apparently it does. It is fight week, the big unification fight in the heavyweight division. As goes the heavyweight, so does boxing. Let me tell you, this is a fight that a lot of people don't know who to pick. Even though the majority of people are saying Usyk, but even then, people are still saying, yeah, well, what if this, what if that? So it's going to be very interesting to break it down in this prediction episode. By the end of the hour, we'll be opening up the phone line so you guys can call in and give us your predictions. Again, it is a prediction show, so it's time to pucker up and get it over with, all right? But before we do that, let's get the business out of the way, fellas. If you want to join our membership program, you're welcome to do so. You can also donate a couple of shekels our way, but like I said, like I always say, joining the membership program is always more advantageous. You get more bang for your buck. You can also join our Patreon page so you can continue to fund some of our future projects. We will be dropping a documentary within the next couple of hours, so stay tuned for that. And don't forget, you can check us out on Spotify, iTunes, and Spreaker at your own leisure. If you do go on Spotify, and I suggest you do, please hit the 5-star button in the rating feature. That way it really helps us out to expand this program to more avenues, higher vistas, as it were. But the most important thing is you continue to like, subscribe, and you spread that BD gospel, right, fellas? Spread it nice and wide. Speaking of the BD members, let's see who we have in the chat here. We have Roy Dixon, Hyperspaz, Sergeant, Solo Dolo. We got Hard Recoil, one of the initiated. Shout out to Hard Recoil. Shout out to Redman, Urban Productions, Protector General, Trooper 5131, Rapax Trucking Company in the house. Shout out to him, 10-4. Super Sardonic, The Viral Chronicles, Team Batman Boxing, Superhuman Unchained, Fluffy Toasters 89, Quentin Lassiter, Omnipolars 7777, lucky number 7 times 3. Why not? I wonder what that gives you in Gematria. The Gucci Berserk, Jesus M in the house. Shout out to Jesus M. Fight or Flight Boxing, shout out to him. Really appreciate his contribution to the super chat. He says, let's do this, BDA. Hey, listen, we'll get it done. Don't you worry about a thing, man. Shout out to Fight or Flight Boxing. Really appreciate it. Shout out to Rapax Trucking Company. Who else? Earl Stevens in the house. Shout out to Earl Stevens. Earl. Uncle Brent Apostrophe. Gypsy in the house. Vladdy V. Who else? Jacques Cousteau and many more people to come. I'm sure, fellas, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. All right, listen. Like I said, it is the big fight. If you think about it, this should have happened already back in February. perhaps in an alternate timeline, the fight already did occur. And wouldn't it be interesting if we could power up the old supercomputer Gaia 500 and peer into a different dimension? Unfortunately, as most of you already know, Gaia 500 did go insane and it tried to end the world, tried to start a nuclear catastrophe. So we had to shut it down. We had to put it in quarantine. So we can't really delve into parallel universes just yet. Maybe someday our research and development team will be able to iron out the kinks. For the moment, we left to our own devices to speculate how this fight will go. Let me just invite a couple of people on this little cookout, and then we'll get started. Again, this is a preview show, official preview prediction show, so make sure you guys call in about 45 minutes to an hour and give us your thoughts on what's going to happen this Saturday, what's going down. Already a lot of drama, we'll talk about that as well. Of course, John Fury up to his old antics, we're going to get to that. I see, okay, we got Jimmy there with the TV on. Unacceptable for a veteran of his caliber. He should know you're not supposed to do that. And we'll wait for other people to jump in here. Again, prediction time. I'm telling you, like I said earlier, it's interesting to, reading other people's tweeters, comment sections, reading articles. A lot of people are going with Usyk, but at the same time, a lot of people are saying, yeah, but. So they're saying, yeah, I think Usyk will win, but usually I'm one of the few people that says that. I think this guy's going to win, but, and then I give multiple scenarios of how that can go down. This fight seems to have really awakened that sense within people. We got Recognize jumping in here as well. Recognize, you there?
I'm here.
All right. Fantastic. Yes, the show couldn't start without you, man. I was telling Jim, he's like, hey, man, we can't start, man. I was actually going to shut it down, but now you're here.
Well, you should have. If I didn't show up.
I mean, hey, listen. But okay, Recognize. Let's start off real quick. Let's cut through the BS. It's prediction time. And then I'll ask you to elaborate. But who are you picking for this Saturday between Usyk and Fury?
Man, it's a tough pick, in my opinion. But I'll get into it as the show goes along. But right now, you're asking me to make a pick.
That's right.
Gun to my head. I think it takes Fury at least 2 chances to get a victory over Usyk. So I'm taking Usyk I think Usyk beats him in this fight.
Uh-huh. But wait a minute, are you saying he beats him but he doesn't get the decision? Is that what you're intimating?
No, I'm saying that judging from Tyson Fury's history, when he's like out of shape and then getting back into shape for a fight, it takes him at least 2 times to see you. And I think yeah, there was a reason why he pulled out of the first fight that was scheduled for February. And I think that he feels like he's probably closer to that to beat him now. But I think that I still got Usyk. Usyk has been on top of his game for a very long time. And Tyson Fury's trying to get back into his game.
Yeah, that's an interesting point right there, and I've heard other people say that as well. They're thinking, well, what's his name? Usyk has been boxing at the highest level, whereas Tyson Fury has been selective in his opposition, and even in being selective, he struggled. The main point of contention or point of criticism for Fury is the fact that he struggled with a novice in Francis Ngannou, and then it was made to look even worse. But Anthony Joshua wiped the floor with Ngannou in less than 2 rounds. So there is something to it. But again, a lot of people aren't counting Fury out based on his size and the fact that he has been able to rise to the occasion when least expected. But so just to clarify, so you're going with Alexander Usyk. Now I got a question then. Yep. Who has more dog? If we're looking at the dogometer here,
I think they both do. That's the thing that makes this fight tough. They kind of both have this, this inner durability. They got durability already, but they could pull it out when everything is like, especially with Tyson Fury, there's more evidence of that, where he's been in fights where he's gotten hurt, dropped, and then you see him get back up and he's like a fucking different person, right? It's like a wake-up call. Where Usyk, I've seen him in some tough fights. The one that stands out to me is the second fight against Anthony Joshua. When I thought Anthony Joshua beat him up in the 9th round, he beat him up. Like that was the first time I saw Usyk clearly lose a round. You know what I'm saying? Not one of these rounds that could have, I gave it to that guy. It was close. And then you saw what he did in the next round, right? He goes on to beat up AJ, probably a little worse than AJ beat him up. And so where Tyson, we've seen him, and I'm not trying to give him more credit, but Tyson, we've seen him drop. We've seen him hit that floor and then gets back up and he just beats the crap out of them. So I think they both have a lot of dog in them. It's probably just as, they're probably equal in that sense.
You know what?
Going to make this. It's going to be a legendary. I have a feeling this fight's going to be just. I don't know if it's going to be the greatest fight you've ever seen, but it's going to be a lot of fucking drama in that fight.
Interesting. Well, that's what we want, man, especially for a pay-per-view, man. We were due for one. Now, I will say this. Yes, we are getting to the dogometer right off the bat. This is a big fight. We're not missing words. We're not prevaricating. It's time to get it all out of the way now, as soon as possible. So, with the dogometer question, that's something that we might be going back to either way throughout the show.
I'm moving different.
Well, that's right. Yeah, these guys are moving different.
This shit ain't nothing to me, man.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I'm a dog.
There we go, man. I mean, the dogometer really is an important barometer that we have to take into consideration. I'll say this as it pertains to who has that dog. Tyson Fury, like you said, recognize a astute point. Yes, he's gotten up. He has looked at adversity and risen above it. But at the same time, when he fought Ngannou and he uncorked an elbow, and that was a blatant foul right there, that was a mark of desperation, the way I saw it. So I'm thinking, okay, all things equal, consider, okay, they might be around the same place when it comes to the dogometer, but I think Usyk is surpasses him. But then again, the past is the past, the time is now, and maybe Fury can rewrite history by beating Usyk. You never know. Jimmy, are you there? 'Cause I don't know if he's...
Yes, I am.
All right, good. Jimmy, like I said, we're getting that right off to the bat with the predictions, and then I ask people later to elaborate, but who do you have winning this Saturday?
All right, well, first off, I got to kind of piss on everybody's parade. I think this fight is going to be boring as all outdoors. It's going to be who can... Fury's going to... Listen, there's a reason he lost all that weight. The whole thing for 2 years, he's belittled Usyk, middleweight, tiny man, little guy. I'd squash him. He was saying all that shit. Watch how he fights him. He's going to fight him like he's Mike Tyson. He's going to try to avoid him at all costs. He's going to try to use every inch of his 6'9" frame and stay on the outside. He's not going to try. And if they're in tight, Fury's going to reach out and grab him. And I think it's going to be that kind of a sloppy, grabbing, wrestling type fight. Anytime they get close, Fury's not going to want to exchange in the middle, any kind of inside game. And I think he's going to try to use his frame and make it boring, a la Klitschko 2015 or 16, whenever that fight took place. So there's that. So, I mean, if he can do that for all 12 rounds, he might even be able to sneak a decision out of a stinker. But I just see Usyk being too smart, coming him in angles, and there's going to be times on the inside. I think Usyk's going to clip him. And I think losing the weight, I don't know. I'm still on the fence whether he's actually going to stop him or not. I know I said that, but it was kind of in jest. But right now I'm leaning towards, I got Usyk. I have Usyk winning this fight. Whether he's going to stop him or not, I haven't decided. I kind of want to see what he looks like on the scales. Fury's a bigger man. Usyk is the stronger man. Make no mistake about it. In every deadlift, squat, bench press, guaranteed Usyk could throw around more weight than Fury, just by his build, by Fury's build, that dink-toed kind of knee in. But he's athletic especially for his build and for his height, and he's actually a really decent boxer for his height. But here's the problem: he's been fighting fucking. He's built his career off he fought Klitschko, and in the last 8 years, he's beat up his whole claim to fame is beating Wilder, who's trash. So he hasn't faced anything like Usyk in a long time, and it's just win, lose, or draw. I hope everybody sees through all that midget, fucking middleweight bullshit that how Fury treats him in that fight this coming Saturday. How he's the one avoiding the actual brawling. It'll be the big guy. And I almost guarantee that. Any of that shit you've seen in like the second fight with Fury against Wilder, how he just used his size, leaned on him, and just pummeled him, that is not how it's going to go. It's going to be stick, turn to his left, circling out, and trying to use his size. And I think it's going to be boring as all outdoors. He's going to make it as boring as he can possibly. That's his plan anyways, to make it boring, because he's not going to want to exchange, definitely not on the inside, with Usyk. So that's my take, Mr. BDA.
So you don't see a scenario where he tries to fight Usyk the way he fought Wilder, trying to pressure him, trying to lean on him?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Usyk is a trained, excellent boxer, good on the inside, throwing uppercuts. Punching down, you lose punching power. Punching up, you gain it. Just keep that in mind. And when you're coming in on somebody, when he's going to have to throw punches down and eliminate some of his punches, his uppercuts, you'd have to catch him from mid-range. I'm telling you, I just watched. Fury's going to reach out and do a lot of holding. Anytime they're in, don't be surprised to see Fury grabbing him. And don't be surprised if you see Usyk maybe even throw him to the ground 1 or 2 times. Like literally pick him up and throw him to the ground. Because every time you do that, a big man getting off the ground takes a lot of energy.
Well, I was going to say that if you compare both guys' operational tempo, Usyk, and this goes to recognize his point, is that Usyk has been fighting to a point where he has, because he's a smaller guy, he has to fight in a more erratic, dynamic pace. He has to move, he has to throw his hands, then move again. Like I said, a higher speed in the operational tempo, whereas Fury, because he has a size advantage over almost everybody he fights, he's content and he's been able to get away with punch, clinch. Punch, grab, back of the head, clinch. That's something that he's going to try to do a lot of, I suspect. Again, try is the specific word here. Up jab, and if that fails, he'll double the up jab and then try to grab the back of Usyk's head and drag him into him, and then try to lean into him in that clinch. Again, Usyk is not the best inside fighter. He can hold his own on the inside, but he'd rather be at mid-range or all the way out. So that could lead Fury to try to fight him on the inside. That's the main question, is how is Fury going to try to fight him? Is he going to do what Jimmy said, fight on the outside? And if so, is he going to continue to do that even if he sees that it's not working out? Or is he going to do what he did against Wallin, which is he tried boxing, then as soon as he was caught, he had to really push pedal to the metal and try to get him out of there before the fight was stopped. We shall see. Well, hold on. Somebody wants to say something?
Well, I was just going to say, I think the first 3 rounds are going to be really critical for a guy like Fury. Even if he loses the first 3 rounds, it's how he loses. If he can pick up on patterns that he can adjust to using his big size, then I think it could be a different fight. But I think, and this is just, to me, the fight could go either way. I don't care if I'm wrong about this shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've always said if there's only one guy that can beat Usyk at heavyweight, it's Tyson Fury, right? And yeah, that's the only person that probably could beat him. I thought he could beat AJ. He did. He never fought Wilder, but I think he would. I think he would school him. And probably everybody else. I mean, it's heavyweight business. You could get hit with one punch, and it could be lights out, right? Especially when you're the smaller guy in height most of the time, and definitely in weight. That can happen. But I think that Tyson Fury. What I'm seeing is he won't be able to pick up on those patterns for what Jimmy said. Like, he's never saw a fighter like that. I don't think, and if he does, the thing about Usyk is that he throws a lot of baits in there. Like it's a bait and switch.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that about him. He'll fight in a certain rhythm, and then later on in the fight, he's fighting a different rhythm.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if indeed Fury starts fighting more at long range, like he did in his Klitschko, and you hear the commentators going, "Oh, he's trying to box Usyk," but it could be a case of Usyk pressuring Fury. Because I remember when De La Hoya fought Bernard Hopkins, and the narrative going in from all the writers, they were going with the cliche. This is the modern day Hagler Leonard. De La Hoya has to box, Hopkins has to go at him, and that was untrue. That was false. Hopkins could box De La Hoya from the outside, and in fact, that's what he was doing. And early on, you saw the HBO commentators going, "Oh, De La Hoya is throwing him off for a loop. He's the one standing his ground." He wasn't standing his ground. He was more stationary because Hopkins wasn't chasing him around the ring. So I think Usyk, don't be surprised if Usyk starts out that way, that he's holding the center of the ring. He tries to push Fury back a little bit, kind of like Canelo did against Munguia for a lot of spots in that fight where he's the one backing up the bigger guy. So I think that could happen as well. It's going to be difficult to ascertain until we actually see them in the ring and see if whether, like Jimmy said, Fury's the one that decides to run around the ring, or whether it's Usyk that forces him to do that and try to throw a different look at Fury and say, "Hey, everyone expected me to box. I'm going to pressure you. I'm going to hold the center of the ring in and out and put the pressure on you a little bit more."
Hey, BDA, make no mistake about it, man. Tyson Fury is nervous about this fight. He is nervous about this fight. There's a reason why he pulled out and he's getting in this kind of shape. He understands. He could say what he wants. He respects this man. He respects Usyk, even if it's in private. You know, going into this fight, he's like, "Yo, I respect that dude." That is why he pulled out of the last fight, February 18th. So 3 months to the date. He said to himself, "I need 3 more months to be really in good shape so I can have a chance of beating this guy."
Well, okay. Well, let me ask Jimmy this then, just before we move on to the next facet of this fight. Jimmy, do you agree with Reckon? I forget what your take on that was. Did you think that? Yes,
I believe he pulled out purposely to lose more weight.
Jimmy's not wasting time. He didn't even let me finish the question. So, okay, so you do believe that he... Interesting. All right. Okay. So now, then that is we got two panelists who are saying that Fury is perturbed by the prospect of fighting Usyk. Real quick, shout out to what do we got here? Profound Dreamer. Shout out to Profound Dreamer for his contribution with the Super Chat. He says, "Have you all seen the fight predictor feature on BoxRec? It has Usyk Fury, a 60-40 fight favoring Usyk." I did not see that. I don't even know what that is, by the way. A fight predictor feature on BoxRec. I'll check that out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how they do their numbers, because you could see a lot of matchups that way that you might actually, that I'm pretty sure the result went the other way. But yeah, they do this. They have this metric, just like they do. He's talking about BoxRec, right?
Right.
PDA.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they have a metric for pound, right? Like I totally disagree with their pound for pound list, but they do have like this metric that breaks it down. Why they have them? In other words, they let the numbers. Again, I don't know how they do this, but they let the numbers determine who's pound for pound.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying they might be doing something similar with the predictor. I just Googled it, boxing.
I think so.
I Googled BoxRec predictor, and I don't see anything. And I'm on the website, and I still can see a feature that says predictor.
I've seen it before. I would like guide you through it, but I don't remember how I got there.
Well, just for curiosity's sakes, I mean, if you look at here, it says rating, schedule, results, date, champions, people, events, clubs, gyms, title, score. I'll go to score. Maybe that's what it is. Now, then it asks you to log in. See, that's the thing, though. I don't want to log in.
Yeah, it's been asking me to do that, and I've never logged in. Period. I don't think I have ever logged in. I don't think I've ever made an account for BoxRec. So
yeah, and then you give them your information. Then all of a sudden you start getting emails for dick pills and dick elongation. And then knowing me,
I don't need
buy
that. I don't
stuff,
need
so.
that. I don't need that shit. Yeah.
Well,
I don't need that.
You're different than I am, I guess. But look, listen. Going back to this fight, here's what I'm interested in. Again, Fury. Because here's the thing, we always have to bring up the fights and previous fights to try to gauge how this one's going to go. I haven't been focusing too much on Fury Wallin. That's a fight that a lot of people are watching, and I understand why, because Wallin is a southpaw, and Usyk's a southpaw, so it makes sense to watch that one. I think, however, that the Klitschko fight might also give some insight on how Fury is going to try to approach Usyk, because Klitschko, like Usyk, was a master of distance. Now, because of his size, he didn't need to go in and out like Usyk did, and he didn't have to feint as much. He wasn't the erratic mover that Usyk is. But he did have very good footwork. He sometimes employed the pendulum, in and out, that Soviet-style boxing. And that is, to this day, Fury's highest quality win. Not performance, mind you. Because although it was a good win, it was also a horrendous fight. Had to be one of the worst fights I've ever seen. If it wasn't for what was at stake and the significance of it and the quality of the fighters, I don't think I would have watched the entire fight. If it would have been two guys in a smoker or on a ESPN undercard or something, I would have said, all right, I'm skipping this one. It was horrendous. Fury didn't really land that much. He just terrified Vladimir Klitschko with feints and movement and the possibility that he could get him out of there. You guys obviously agree that Usyk's not going to fall into the trap. Or do you expect that it's a possibility?
No, different. Well, I mean, think about it. Vlad was a different guy back then. He was 40 or closer to it. He was, and so he was almost at the what was that?
2015.
That was the fight before his last fight he's ever had, right?
Yes.
So it was at the end of his career. So no, of course, Usyk's not going to do. I think. Listen, man. I think if Vlad would have fought this dude when he was and on that run, it'd have been a different ball game, right? Against Tyson Fury, the same Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's not that same guy anymore today. He's not that guy. He's not that elusive in terms of his movement. It probably makes him a little bit more dangerous in terms of power, but it also makes him hittable, right? And we just know by his size, his awkward body shape, he gets dropped. He gets dropped with punches he doesn't see coming. But the thing about him, his recovery rate, has always shown to be really good. But I just think that with Usyk, he's got to be really careful, because Usyk is one of these guys that outworks you. But you get what I'm saying? So he's outworking you. So imagine he doesn't drop you in the first 3 rounds. He drops you in the second half of the fight, where you're more tired because you're dealing with this dude's awkward style, his awkward movement, in terms of you picking up on what he's trying to do, right? So I'm looking at him and I'm like, this guy's awkward for me because it's not a rhythm that I'm used to seeing, right? Maybe because of his height and everything. So, and then you get dropped. That's what Tyson Fury has to really be careful for. Okay, that he's out. It's a back and forth fight for the first 6 rounds, right? And then Usyk starts picking up on his shots. He's punching more through, right? Or there's more commitment to those punches to hurt you, and he gets clipped with something he doesn't see. We've seen him go down. This is why he's in such, I've seen pictures of him, and pictures are different than actually being in boxing shape. This is why he's looking much better than he has in a long time. I mean, the guy got fucking cuts all over his arm. He's all ripped up and shit, He's taking this fight real serious from the looks of it, I think he's scared. I think he's afraid. Not afraid of the individual. He's just afraid that he can't come in anything less than at his 100% of this time, in this place of his career. He has to come in close to 100%.
Absolutely. I mean, both guys have to. Usyk is fighting a guy that is about 6 feet 7.5 inches tall. I don't believe the 6'9" figure, and he's probably going to be weighing in the upper 250s. I mean, I don't care who you are. You gotta take that dude seriously, and obviously Usyk takes everybody seriously. So I don't expect him to all of a sudden show up out of shape. What else? Anyone else want to chime in?
Well, I'd like to say, look at the pressure. Look at the what hangs on this fight. For as far as Fury goes, prior to the Ngannou fight, he had guys like Joe Rogan and a lot of people just in the mainstream world, calling one of the greatest, if not the greatest heavyweight of all time. The narrative that was built about this guy for beating literally the least talented heavyweight champion of my lifetime. That's it. Klitschko, a 40-year-old shell of Klitschko, in a guy who was as softly matched as humanly possible, avoided everybody, especially every punch. So he's sitting up now. After that, everybody's like, he's the greatest of all time. Then that Ngannou thing, now that fucking Wilder, those ones are aging like fucking yogurt. I mean, for Christ's sakes, he just lost to Joseph Parker. So now if Usyk beats him, will he even make the Hall of Fame? Does he go from the greatest heavyweight of all time to someone you have to question whether he's even Hall of Fame worthy?
Absolutely,
Just being
absolutely.
Honest. So you're talking about a huge drop from where he was. That's how much hangs on this fucking. That could all turn around though if he beats Usyk. So that's how much is on the table for Fury right now. Sorry, BD, what are you saying?
No, I'm agreeing with everything you're saying, and the fact that you're correct, because Butcher was saying the same thing. He's saying what happens now is Fury was feeling his oats for the past 4 years, especially after he beat Wilder, like you said. Now he's starting to realize he went into a little bit of a deep end with the Ngannou fight, especially, where people said, hey, this guy's not as good as he. And then, like I said, then when Joshua wiped the floor with Ngannou, now it put a lot of pressure on Fury. He's in a position in which he hasn't been in since that first Wilder fight, where he came back from a long layoff, a bit of a lost weekend, like John Lennon's lost weekend, and now the pressure's on him. And I do think he's probably having his doubts and everything, like a human being, but ultimately I think he's gonna be feeling his oats going into the fight and thinking, you know what? This is the way I'm thinking he's looking at it, because I would look at it the same way if I was in his shoes. Hey, I've got the size advantage. I'm not Joe Blow. I'm not just any old regular fighter. I'm a heavyweight champion. I used to be on the pound for pound list. I beat Klitschko. You know, whatever you want to say about Wilder. So that's probably why he's trying to tell himself to hype himself up. Whether that facade or whether it's a facade or not, but whether that's his belief, well, let's see if it holds up in the ring. Because again, Usyk has a lot of similarities to Lomachenko, who we just saw this past Saturday, in that he pressures you with his feet. He's not necessarily throwing hands, but he's in and out. He's feinting, changing levels, pivoting around you. You know, Lomachenko does that to tire people. And Tony Bellew, who fought Usyk, said that after the fight. He says he exhausts you. He's an exhausting guy to fight. So the way to counter that, however, is for Fury to use his size and throw caution out the window and say, okay, hit me, you dosser. I'm just going to keep coming because I know you can't hurt me when you're going off the back foot. I want to give my prediction too, and then I got a couple of questions here in regards to how this fight could go. Now, I'm going with the consensus. I'm thinking, well, hold on a second. Recognize, what did you I didn't even write down your prediction. What did you say? You said Usyk decision? Recognize.
Yeah, I'm going to go Usyk decision. I mean, like, I know what Jimmy's talking about. I mean, there's a pot, and it's boxing, right? So he could stop him, but I've never seen. I've seen Fury almost knocked out, but you know, Wilder is probably a bigger puncher with one shot than Usyk is, right? I wouldn't say probably. He is. It could happen, but what I think is gonna happen is it's gonna be a close fight. It's gonna be an ugly fight, but I think he outworks him through most of the fight, and probably scores a knockdown. You know, maybe he scores a knockdown, and maybe that's the difference of the fight. And you know, so I'm picking him by decision, maybe majority, split. You know, one of those type of deals. You know, I just think that if you really look at Tyson Fury's history, especially since he's come back, he needs more time to beat guys that he probably should be able to beat. Like definitely with Wilder, you know, he needed 2 chances to beat Wilder. I thought he won the first fight, but you get what I'm saying, where it was no doubt. And I think that, like Jimmy said, he's been on this fucking he's been riding that victory for the last 4 years, not facing any real contenders, any real threat, and now he's gonna fight a real one. and I think he's going to fail. I think he fails in this one. And that's why I say I think he needs at least 2 chances. Maybe he can't beat him. Period. We'll find out.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that's a
decision. Usyk.
decision, Usyk. All right, I wrote it down there, and I gotta say, man, if I'm going with my prediction, I'm going with the consensus. I'm going with Usyk by decision. I think the worst thing that Fury can do in this situation, if he's gonna pressure Usyk, is to do what he does. Is sometimes he'll do that when he's pressuring guys. He'll do the cross arm defense, the crab stance, or the crab defense, where you put like Joe Frazier, and he leans forward. When he does that, he can't counter. I've noticed that he can't counter. He uses that to sort of let the other guy throw his shots, and then he continues pressuring. If he does that, Usyk is gonna maintain distance, pop him with a 5-punch, 6-punch combination, take a step back, and then maybe even dart in and do that again. Fury has to consistently, if he's gonna pressure, he has to consistently move forward and throw body shots and be willing to take one shot to give one. I think Usyk's going to be too fast. I agree with you guys. I think the operational tempo he sets is something that Fury has not seen in a long time. He's gained weight. He can lose all the weight he wants now, but whether his reflexes are still there, I don't know. On top of that, he has been leading a party lifestyle. He doesn't care. The past 3 years, he hasn't cared about his weight at all, which means a lot of carbs, probably a lot of beer. And we know what beer does to you. It thins the skin. Alcohol thins the skin. He already has a lot of scar tissue from that awful cut he sustained against Wallin. So you don't necessarily need to throw a hard shot to cut him. These leather gloves, you throw them at the correct velocity and speed, it slices and dices. And I think Usyk can do that, and so Fury's going to have to be mindful of that, especially if he starts pressuring the guy. Any one punch could potentially reopen that cut, and then it's Crimson Cross time over there. So I think Usyk is going to be too fast. I do think there's going to be periods where he's not going to be able to move consistently or be throwing, and sometimes that Fury herky-jerky style might give him a little bit of trouble to pinpoint that head. But I think Usyk is going to figure out the timing eventually. But I will say this again: you guys know me. I'm always giving the underdog a chance here. The way I could see Fury winning this one is if he's on the outside, that up jab is his ace in the hole. If Usyk takes that away early, good luck trying to outbox him from the outside. But the reason why I mentioned the up jab is because it comes at an upward angle, and it's difficult to parry, difficult to block. And then on top of that, Derek Chisora did a good job of hitting Usyk with some mean jabs, especially he would feint as if he was about to throw the right, then he would shift, and then now that he was in the southpaw position, he would throw a jab with the right hand. And he was snapping Usyk's head back consistently. Usyk couldn't seem to get out of the way of it. So maybe Fury could have success with that up jab. If he doesn't, he's in trouble from the outside. And then he could potentially try to crowd Usyk and get him on the inside. The other thing I think Fury should do is, again, Usyk's going to hit you from the outside eventually. So I think what he should do is stand his ground a little bit, and every time Usyk throws a jab, just swat his body. Again, you're a 250-pound plus guy. The body shots are going to hurt. You don't have to put a lot of power in them. That was the same key to victory we gave for Joshua going into the Usyk fight. Don't throw hard. You don't have to. Just throw quickly. Tag this guy. And Fury has to do something similar to the body. If Usyk throws the left hand, whack him with the right hand to the body. Essentially what I'm saying is counter to the body. Body, 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 body. If Usyk blinks at you, hit him to the body. Right? That's my thing on it. Whether it's going to be successful or not, I don't know. At this point, the speed factor might be too much. Now, I want to ask you this question. Somebody in the chat said that the Usyk has been looking slow and that he looks slow in the Dubois fight. Do you guys expect him to be still much more significantly faster than Fury in that ring?
Yes. Yes, I
do. Absolutely. I don't know what the rate... Oh, go recognize.
No, go ahead. Finish your point. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I was going to say real quick. I mean, just look at who he's fought since Wilder. Dillian White, Chisora for the 17th time, Francis Ngannou. I mean, he just fought the least talented people he could for money. He's just been chasing money. He didn't try to make himself get any better. When you fight lesser competition, Dillian White is the domestic level champ. I mean, heavyweight. period. Derek Sora, exciting, extremely domestic level. Francis Ngannou debut, and then and he got a split decision. Some people thought even lost, and then Josh goes out and just annihilates him in under 2 rounds, like it was a joke, like it was nothing. And that's the same guy who Usyk had losing his mind, grabbing the fucking microphone, having a complete meltdown because he couldn't hit him clean and really beat him. I mean, that's the same guy that went over and just destroyed the guy that Fury had a nightmare with. No offense to Gypsy. I mean, there's not a snowball's chance in hell it was because of Fury carried Ngannou. It was just he didn't take him serious, nor should he have. It was his pro debut. But he was just too fat, and that's the reason why I try to decapitate him and open his head up with a fucking illegal elbow to have the fight stopped on a cut. And, yeah, so now he's close to 40. He's abused the shit out of himself with alcohol. He hasn't fought a legitimately talented fighter since, I don't know, Obama was president. Give me a break. Like, seriously, give me a break. If he beats him, I'd be shocked. I really would be shocked. Normally, I don't give a fuck. I don't care if I get the wrong pick, although I don't usually do it too often. No need to blow my shoulder. I'll tap myself in the back. But, yeah, but I would be. This one, and normally I'd say, oh, got the wrong pick. I would literally be shocked. Like, I don't know. I don't know how you come back from feasting on no-hopers to take on a guy who has, even Klitschko, the best last good talent he fought, had terrible footwork. He was the big prod and cement head who came forward and was usually bigger than everybody. He hasn't seen anybody with the footwork, knows the angles, is a better boxer than him. And that's key. Fury is always the better boxer. Is always the better boxer. Now he is not the better boxer in there.
Yeah.
Usyk is by far the better boxer. Let's I'm gonna be honest. Is Fury's size, can Fury's size beat Usyk's fucking boxing ability? Because imagine if they're both the same exact height, right? Doesn't it come down to that?
Yep, it comes. That's well said. That's how I look at that fight. I look at that fight as who? Okay, is it going to be Usyk's boxing ability to overcome Fury's size? Can Fury's size overcome Usyk's boxing ability?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we know boxing, right?
Exactly.
What is it that we know? Usually boxing skills wins the fight. Right? That's what your size could mean. Yeah, you can exert your size with boxing skills, but if the guy's a lot better boxer than you and he's been facing stiffer competition where he's got to use his boxing skill, and in other words, muscle memory, right? In recent time, that guy usually wins. You know, everything plays out usually with the guy with the better boxing skills wins the fight. We see it all the time. We see it with Lomachenko. Lomachenko beats guys that are bigger than him. He outboxes them. He beats them on points. The reason why is because he's constantly in that rhythm of fighting guys bigger than him that got boxing skills, but he's got better boxing skills than they do, and that's why he wins the fight.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the thing, though, because you guys are absolutely right. I mean, Usyk has been fighting at a size disadvantage. Fury has had the size advantage, and then on top of that, he's been the favorite going in. The last good opponent he fought, in my mind, was Dillian White. Some people were saying it was going to be a difficult fight, myself included, and he actually made it look easy. Now, he didn't exactly fight in the most aesthetically pleasing way. There was a lot of clinching, a lot of holding, a lot of meandering, but nevertheless, he got Dillian White out of there with an uppercut. Now, again, the flip side to that coin could be that, hey, who hasn't taken Dillian White out with an uppercut? It seems like if you just throw an uppercut, I could throw an uppercut right now, we'd probably reach him across the Atlantic. I don't know. But nevertheless, yeah, Fury, that hasn't kept him sharp. And then on top of that, the way he hasn't kept himself sharp because he's been showing up in the 260s and 270s in terms of weight. 270 pounds when he fought Ngannou. So Now he's probably going to be sharper, but has he stayed mentally sharp? Has his reflexes been honed? Or have they stayed honed by boxing the people that he's fought? Flip side to that coin is Usyk's style does not age well in the heavyweight division. Heavyweights usually tend to age well if they're big and they get a big punch because it's the last thing to go. Fury relies on his speed and his stamina. And I do have to wonder, the last time we saw him have to run around the ring was when he fought Derek Chisora. And Derek Chisora, I remember when Bob Foster fought Joe Frazier. Bob Foster, former light heavyweight champion, moved up to heavyweight, fought Joe Frazier, and he said he was like fighting a grizzly bear. I could not keep him off of me. Usyk did keep Chisora off of him, but that's because he got tired from chasing Usyk all over the ring. So my question is, that was 4 years ago, that fight, 2020. Does Usyk at 37 years old still have the legs to consistently do that throughout the fight? That's going to be interesting to see if it comes to that.
I think the key to victory for Usyk, you have to make Tyson Fury fight at your rhythm. In other words, whatever you think Tyson Fury may have lost, what he used to do in the past, maybe better agility, better at feinting, whatever, make him show you. Make him work. You got to make this guy work. Because if that's I'm thinking if I was as skilled as Usyk and fighting a guy that big, right, and seeing his pattern in the last couple of years, I want to, I haven't seen him use all his best abilities, so I want to push him to that point. I want to see if he could do that because maybe he can't. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he can't work at that pace anymore. And I'm pretty sure Usyk is thinking about that. That's what's going to make this fight very interesting. I think. Yes, Usyk has slowed down. Somebody said that in terms of heavyweight. Think about it. He's putting on more weight. He's older. That's just the natural way of the way the body works. But the one thing that he hasn't lost is his boxing IQ, right? And there's other ways to exert your opponent with just pure speed and your awkward timing. Make that person use everything that they haven't used in a while, and see if they can hang. Maybe he can't.
Yeah, fight him like a heavyweight. Because that was the big question when Usyk first came to the heavyweight division. He said, "Whoa, can he handle the size?" We haven't. Joshua and Dubois are boxer punchers. They're not the type of guys that were going to pressure Usyk. We were talking about that before those fights. It was quite clear. Here, Fury has the option, if he chooses to try to pressure Usyk and try to body him. By the way, shout out to Double L for his contribution with the super chat. He says, Usyk by late body shot KO. Shout out BDA. He puts I think that's the Latin American Union flag. I don't think that's the pride flag, so I'm going to go ahead and... I know the pride flag, they used that one and they inverted it, so hopefully that's what Double L is referring to. Shout out to Nightmare for his contribution with the super chat. He says, Mr. BDA, put me down for Usyk decision. All right, shout out to you guys. Thank you for your contributions, and I already wrote down your predictions right there. Don't forget to call it. We're going to be opening the phone lines soon if you guys want to call in and give us your predictions. By the way, Jimmy, Knockout Ned, I think it was Knockout Ned in the chat said, give us Usyk's elite wins at heavyweight, and then he put a laughing emoji. I'm not sure if he's sort of intimating that Usyk hasn't had any elite wins, at least not compared to Fury. Well, how would you respond to that?
Joshua, his 2 wins over Joshua are better than any of Usyk's wins. I mean, better than any of Fury's wins.
I'll put it to you this way.
Simple as that.
I'll put it to you this way. The Klitschko win is right up there in terms of on paper, in terms of the Joshua one, but the performances were much more different. And I think obviously that's because of the size.
It was a fucking horrible fight.
That's what I'm saying.
It was probably the worst heavyweight fight I've ever seen. He beat him by because Joshua has that. I mean, Klitschko's like Triple G. He has to line up and things have to happen a certain way, or he has to wind up and go all over again. Like I always say, a jet fighter coming down ready to drop the hook and grab on a flight deck. If they even off a little, they pull the thrusters and they go back and have to come all the way around and do it again. Same type of thing with Klitschko. And it was 40 years old. And Joshua, he hasn't fought Joshua. The reason he avoided him. We just seen what happened in Ngannou. The guy that he struggled with, who put him on his ass, Joshua beat him up like he owed him money.
Well, first
You
of all,
can't
people are
overlook
going to say triangle theory, but it's not necessarily, because triangle theory is when you got 3 fighters. But at this point, we've seen Fury struggle with guys that other people have managed to beat in more comprehensive fashion. I'm talking about the Wallin fight, which Joshua also outperformed. Now, people in the chat are saying, but that was, some who's saying that? Hold on. Mark T saying Ruiz leftovers are better than an undefeated Vlad. Vladimir wasn't undefeated, but I mean,
That
that's not
wasn't
the point. That's not my
undefeated. He
point.
already lost.
No, but that's not my point to correct the person. But just to say that, some people will say that Joshua was that he's Ruiz's leftovers. Okay, so what? So now anybody that defeats Joshua from this point on, it's not a credible win because Ruiz beat him. I mean that I don't understand that logic. It's people lose.
Illogical.
Well, there you go. So, I mean, here's the thing.
And
though.
let's not think. Can we also? We're talking about competition. What weights are weights? They do change. But who is he beaten? How about he's a first ballot Hall of Famer just off of what he did at cruiserweight? Maybe considered one of the best cruiserweights of all time. Do we need to go through who he's beat at that weight division too? This is me slamming the mic on the ground. Please.
Well, first of all, you don't have to slam anything to the ground.
I'm not slamming it, but I will if I want.
Mic drop.
I remember I used to tell women, let's play house. You'll be the screen door, and I slam you all night long. No, but listen, the thing about it is, hey, listen, it's on a Sunday show, and that it's a double entendre type of thing, playing with words. So I don't think it was anything dirty. But I'll say this: I do see Fury. Fury can actually, I think he can hurt Usyk if he hits him to the temple. Because although Fury lacks the explosiveness of, say, a Joshua, nevertheless, he's got pretty big mitts. And he's a big dude.
Oh, yeah. Fury should be trying to hurt him. And you're right. He could. I mean, that's going to be 50 pounds, probably, from a guy who's, at least on BoxRec, is listed as 6 inches taller. Yeah, that's what Fury should be doing. When you're fighting a guy who's probably a better boxer, better mover than you are, yeah, you clip his ass. You make sure that you hurt him. Throw him off his balance. And so, yeah, Fury could definitely hurt him. Absolutely. That's why for me, this is like a fun pick. You know what I'm saying? This is not an emotional pick, anything like that. I'm just going with patterns that I've seen. Now, here's another thing that I'm not taking into consideration. I don't care what the judges score the fight. Even I care to a point, obviously, but like if I see one guy winning, and it's the whole Lomachenko Devin Haney thing, right? Where most people are like, oh yeah, Loma won, but technically, Devin Haney's won that fight. Well, I'm not predicting that. I even though I have a feeling the judges are going to be fairer than usual, and that might be a mistake on my part, in terms of betting. But yeah, I'm just looking at it for what it is. I think Tyson Fury has to hurt, at the very least, has to hurt Usyk and keep him hurt to win the fight, and he could definitely do that. If it comes down to a boxing match, nope, Usyk all day. And usually in boxing, when you're fighting a really good boxer, he turns it into this fight's going to be determined on who has the better boxing skills, and that's why I'm going with Usyk.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I want to just remind people that this is the official prediction show. We're going to be opening up the phone lines very soon, so you guys can call in and give us your predictions. Again, don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like. We're at 60 likes right now.
The guys people in the comments, man, make sure you call in and give your thing.
That's right. Your pick. Yeah, I just want to clarify. Give your pick, because it could be anything. It could be something dirty as well. We're at 60 likes right now.
And can I say too? Also, all right, talk about the likes.
Yeah, just real quick. We're at 61 likes. Please, if 39 more people hit that like, we're at 100. Please, 39, hit that like. Really helps us out.
Yeah.
I will say, I don't know if you guys saw the other night. Did you see when Kambosos tried to try to tighten up grab onto Lomachenko?
Mm-hmm.
Ever since Salido, he's learned, and they practiced it hard. Papachenko really works on that fucking wrestling shit. Because remember, Papachenko he made his bones in wrestling. His father is like an incredible wrestling coach. He understands the balance in wrestling has a lot. It's all about balance. So they practice the wrestling. Wait till Usyk if Fury tries to lay on him and try to tire him up. You watch how violently, especially if Usyk realizes Fury's grabbing to save, because he's tired, to try to tie him up just because he's breathing heavy. That's when Usyk will put the pressure on him.
Yeah.
Fury's gonna have to fucking really show up a side of him we haven't seen in a long time. And again, how many times has Joshua put on? He got stopped by Ruiz, who can crack. By the way, he's got really fast hands for a heavyweight. Nobody confuses. Yeah, he might be flabby and shit, but that kid can crack. And but the same token, Fury's been put on his ass. I mean, Christ, he's been on his back so many times. They sell fucking advertising space in the bottoms of his shoes.
Ah, come on.
He's been down 4 times by Wilder, just one guy alone.
He's been placed on his ass 8 times that I know of.
8 times. Look at that.
Remember.
That's why
he dropped.
That's why I think. That's why I'm saying I think it might behoove Fury to put this guy on the back foot because people always say that. Oh, Cunningham is one of the people that dropped Fury, and one of the lighter guys who happened to drop Fury. And I think but after that, when Fury started pushing him back and leaning on him, you never saw Cunningham land that punch again, and that was on the forehead too. It wasn't on the chin. So. We've never really seen Usyk really load up that way. I mean, he can load up a little bit when he wants to, but never to that extent. So I think it's going to be harder for him to do that backing up. Now, don't be fooled though. Usyk can move back and then plant his feet real quick and throw with more power than usual because he can transition from defense to offense real quickly. Is what I'm saying. So that shouldn't give Fury the impetus or the illusion that hey, if I back him up, it's easy money. No, man, this guy Usyk is gonna be moving. He's got a great gas tank, great economy of movement when he wants to. It's not like he's moving excessively. That's why he can almost always do it for as long as he needs to. But again, Fury needs to work that body. I was rewatching some of that Wallin fight, and he got Wallin with a good uppercut to the liver. Just a really nice, it wasn't even a shovel hook. It was an uppercut, left uppercut. And you could see it was right at the end of the bell or the round. And Wallin sort of doubled over a little bit. So that's really what he has to do, man. Body. Good luck trying to headhunt. It's not going to work out if he does that from the get-go. He needs to go to the body.
Tyson Fury is dangerous when you hurt him and you try to go for the kill. We've seen that already. That's when he's dangerous. You don't want to do that.
And Tyson Fury, he beat Wallin, but he was cut. That was a big fight for him. You know what I mean? Against Wallin, and everybody said that was probably his toughest competition since Klitschko. Mm-hmm. And fucking Anthony Joshua bashed the shit out of Wallin.
Right.
I was never impressed with Wallin, anyways. But
then again, been chasing lately. He's been. I noticed that AJ's been chasing. Like in other former opponents of, in this case, Tyson Fury, and he's been doing better.
Right, but again, I mean, Fury's not fighting Joshua here. He's fighting Usyk. Usyk didn't beat Wallin. So I'm not trying to, I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
Right, so, but I will say this, though. In regards to the Wallin fight, Fury did box the guy from the outside for about 6 rounds. And it was really close. Once he started pressuring Wallin, he swept, for me, in my card, he swept the 7th to the 11th. Then the 12 was close. But when he actually decided to crowd Wallin, he was working him over. And Wallin was doing a lot of clinching. He couldn't, he held his own on the inside insofar as he was able to smother some of Fury's own smothering. But in terms of scoring shots between 7 and 11 rounds, he wasn't doing much. So, I don't know. I'm going to be very curious to see how Usyk handles Fury. But at the same time, I'll tell you why, and I think I've already said this before numerous times. I don't want to rain on anybody's parade, but I do agree with Jimmy. One of the reasons why I haven't been all that excited for this fight is because I think it's going to, like he said, I think it's going to be a boring fight or an eventful fight, a little sloppy to a certain extent. So I don't think it's going to be the most aesthetically pleasing fight, but the good news is that it does come with a good undercard. So at least there's that. But it is an intriguing matchup.
if I could get Usyk, if I'm Tyson Fury, if I could get Usyk to back off and then try to circle around the ring, and you know how he kind of like darts in. Once he plants his feet, if he could catch Usyk with uppercuts, that could be a problem. That could be an uppercut to the body, the arm, you know, the face, whatever. And he could put some mustard on that shit, which we know he could. That could play a big problem for a guy like Usyk. So now when he's resetting, he's thinking about that. He's like, man, this guy was hurting me with some big uppercuts.
Fury does have
outside
a
of
good
that,
uppercut.
man, if he can't do that, man, I just see a slow, methodical. He's just getting pointed throughout the whole fight, and wear down too.
Yeah, Fury does have a good uppercut, a very good underrated, I dare say. But again, that's the problem with Fury, especially in the last 4 years. One punch at a time, clinch. One punch. That's the operational tempo he's become accustomed to, because he's also been fighting heavy guys. Ngannou was about the same.
That's not going to work against Usyk too.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Recognize, because he's been the last guy he fought, Ngannou, 270 pounds. Before that, Chisora, he's another fucking grizzly bear in there, in the upper 250s. Dylan White, another guy that's about out around the same stratosphere weight. He hasn't fought a mobile guy like this since Cunningham.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's easy to spar.
And let's be honest, Cunningham is he's no Usyk, right? I
mean, there you go. Even though he probably thinks he is, because he has this whole American boxing complex. Yeah. But anyway, the point is that man. I mean, it's I'm pretty sure Fury's been giving his all in sparring and all that, really trying to sharpen his reflexes. But he's 35 years old. And a pretty big dude, so speed is probably not
older 35-year-old in terms of the mileage he's put on his body,
Then again, timing beats speed. The problem is Usyk has speed and timing. So I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to give Fury the benefit of the doubt here. I'm really looking at all aspects and all possibilities of how this could go down, but it's difficult to give Fury. Pick Fury with confidence is what I'm saying. By the way, we opened up the phone lines, but I've noticed that we're at 77 likes. I said to please get us to 100.
Guys, get them shits up. I
said to please get us to 100, and people didn't. So I'm going to have to pull out the big guns right off the bat, and I'm going to be reading one of my favorite writers, Colin Wilson's essays on philosophy until I see the likes get to 100. So this is the chapter on Edmund Husserl, who is the father of the branch of philosophy known as phenomenology. So here we go.
I'm already falling asleep.
Well, I mean, too bad, man. Hey, tell people to hit the like, man. Otherwise, I'm going to
hit the like. What's wrong with you guys? Do you want to hear me sleep on the panel? Is that what you want? Or you want us to keep talking boxing?
It must have been in the early 1960s that I went to call on Sir Julian Huxley at his house in Pond Street, Hampstead. At the time, I was working on a book called Beyond the Outsider, the sixth and last of my outsider cycle. And I really wanted to ask Huxley how he could be the foremost living exponent of man's future evolution and still regard himself as a strict Darwinian. Expressed in that way, the question may not make too much sense. For after all, there's no contradiction between human evolution and Darwinism. But as all Huxley's admirers know, he was swung from a rather narrow form of Darwinism, with the emphasis on genetic factors, to a kind of Shavian optimism about man's future and the, quote, managing director of the universe. Let me check the likes here. 101 likes. All right, fantastic. Shout out to all the about what was it, 27 people? I think. That
wow! Like. All of a sudden, I'm up. I just got back up. Wow!
Shout out to the people for hitting that like.
You got some crazy literature at your house, man. You better stop saying what you read, dude, because you're giving yourself away. I think you might be a physician.
A physician? No. I'm not a physician.
I think you might be Dr. BDA.
No.
Like a philosopher, like doctor philosopher.
No. First of all, I'm reading a lot of this stuff. But I'll give you the thing here that when I read a lot of this stuff, I don't even get it. So I try to get it, but it's not like I'm reading this and yep, that's what I thought. And then moving on to the next book. That's not what's going on.
Also, I want you to know that it's not, Usyk isn't the odds-on favorite. You guys know that, right?
It's
most sites like BetMGM, Caesar Sportsbook, Bet Rivers, all have Fury.
Whoa,
DraftKings,
I didn't know that.
All given, all Fury. DraftKings are all get Fury as the slight winner.
Slight favorite.
You know why I'm surprised? You know why I'm
But
surprised?
they all
Because
picked Canelo to beat fucking Bivol too.
yeah, well, yeah, that's the other side of that coin. The reason why I'm surprised you say that is because most boxing hardcore people are picking Usyk. Maybe maybe the bookies know something we don't. You're right. Tyson Fury is the minus 120, so that's about what? As close to 2-1.
I just think the sports.
You gotta understand
I think the sports are taking it so hard in the ass that just not paying the fucking bookies out there that big anymore. It's not that
you
big
gotta
of a
understand
sport
something too,
anymore.
BDA. When the odds are like that, and let's say, for instance, a lot of bets are coming in, and let's say they're pretty even, or maybe they even got Usyk pulling ahead. That's still, I think that's still more of a gain than a loss if Usyk was to win. Let's just say it's still more of a gain, especially if they start coming in. A lot of bets start coming in, and they're pretty even, where it doesn't tip Usyk over the edge. You know, like in other words, he's the favorite going into fight night.
I gotta tell you, I'm surprised. And Jimmy, could you just repeat what you said about why the bookies probably have Fury the favorite? I didn't understand it.
I was saying that I've noticed, like, Vegas would almost, I mean, they were batting like 90% most of my life, but just recently, the last decade or so, I've noticed they've been way off. And I attribute it to just the sports decline. I don't think they're paying the fucking lefty Rosenthals the money they used to. You know? Seriously. I just don't. I mean, put it this way. One of the guy who laid the odds, he was on with the guy from Showtime there. I can't remember his name. The bald guy who does between the fights stuff. He's got a part. You know who I'm talking about, right? Well, he had a guy on there. I don't know if you saw that, but he had I think Davis. I forget who it was, but it was something ridiculous. This is pound for pound best fighter in the world. I mean, like take your breath away, stupid. Like that person to win. Actually, let me find out. Yeah, this is the guy who let me get his name here. Oh, right here. Admiral Shaw. He's the draft king. He's the guy who hired to set the odds for draft king. Okay. He has who did he pick for his?
I want to just remind people that we're all going to be up while Jimmy looks up that information.
I'm sorry. David Benavidez. The guy who sets the odds for DraftKings has David Benavidez as the pound for pound best in the world.
Whoa!
I mean, I don't know, man, how they come up with these things. I really don't.
Jimmy, is the guy Australian, and does he spend his time going on podcasts talking about Benavidez all the time?
Emil Shaw.
Are you sure that's not Mirage?
His name is Emil Shaw, and he's the guy who sets boxing odds for. Here, this is Haymanite's tweet. This is how I found out. I'm going to put it in the chat so you can see it, Mr. BDA.
Mm-hmm.
I'll post his, and you'll see there we go. It's posted. And then they shows a picture of him. This is the guy, and he says it. Oh, that's, you talk about David Benavidez. That's my pound for pound number one. So,
yeah, I mean,
kind of tells you what time it is right there.
PBC time, that's what it is. By the way, yeah, you mentioned the fact that maybe that Las Vegas is not the Las Vegas when it comes to pinpointing the odds or getting predictions right. You're saying it's not the Las Vegas that you used to know. Do you think they're missing a Sam Rothstein? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they're missing a lefty. I mean, once the corporations came over and took it over, you know, just like the ending of Casino, how they said it became a site. You order a drink now, you're waiting 3 days to get it.
Remember in Casino when he has his own show after he's denied his license? So he starts his own show. Remember the monotone introduction from the girl? Mr. Rothstein is a professional gambler and the best football handicapper. Remember that? In an American man who will take you inside the real Las Vegas. Like, what? They couldn't get a male announcer, somebody to put a little pep in the voice or something. I don't know, man. By the way, this clip, I want to play the clip here because I thought you said Emil Shaw. It's Amal. The guy is an Indian fella, I think. Here's a clip.
Check in with our DraftKings analyst, Amal Shaw. He's here to break down all the odds. I'm fired up for June 15th, B. You got me fired up interviewing the Mexican monster, man. I'll tell you what, that's my best pound for pound in the world. My best pound for pound in the world. I love it. I love it. Mexican
Wait.
monster, man. I'll tell you what, that's my best pound for pound in the world.
Yeah, he said that's my best. Because I thought initially he said that's one of my best. No, but I think he said that's the best pound for pound guy. Then, of course, Heyman
That's
says,
my best. He says that's my best pound for pound in the world.
I think he said that's
exactly
the
what
best.
Amal shows.
Yeah, I don't know if he said the or my, but he said that. Either way, he's saying that Benavidez is pound for pound. I mean, and then Heyman said, "See, I don't appreciate that from Heymanites though, making fun of the guy physically and all that, make him look like a clown." I'm gonna talk to Heymanites or try to Jim. If you could talk to Heymanites, tell him that he's taking a little bit too far with the clown thing. A little bit. It's not nice.
I just noticed that now. I didn't even notice that clown thing till now.
Hey, by the way, let me read a couple of...
Tell Heymanites to keep up the good work.
Yeah, recognize has no qualms about that. Real quick, before we get to the phone line, shout out to Marty McFly for his contribution to the Super Chat. He says, I had Fury. Jimmy just changed my mind. Please put me down for Usyk decision. All right, there you go. Jimmy converting people. And don't forget, if Fury pulls out the upset, you can blame Jimmy for that. So Marty McFly says, what did he say? Usyk decision. All right, I got you down for a decision. Marty McFly, shout out to you. And shout out to El Gordo. What's that?
I think people are not appreciating this fight going in. They'll appreciate it after the fight, no matter what the results is. Because whoever wins, they're gonna have to put on a really good performance.
I think it's all of Vegas and all these odds-on guys just completely overrating the Wilder win.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I think there's a lot of that too, Jimmy. I think you're right.
Yeah, I mean they gave him a Fighter of the Year in 2020 for beating Wilder. But okay, shout out to
that was the only fight he had.
That
was the only fight he had in 2020.
Shout out to El Gordo for his contribution with the Super Chat. He says, I just want to say your Fury Usyk documentary was dope. All right, yeah, glad you enjoyed it, Gordo. And we got another documentary coming up real soon, probably within the next 48 hours. So shout out to El Gordo. If you enjoy that, hopefully you enjoy the next one we drop. Let's go to the phone lines real quickly, and then we got to talk about some of the drama that's surrounding this fight. In the meantime, let's go to the phone lines here. Let's go to 347. 347, you're on the air. 347, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, fellas? It's NPR.
Oh, NPR guy, what's up?
Good, man. So, when thinking about this fight, I kind of wrote some things down in terms of, like, I asked myself questions about it, like, what's going to happen? How could it happen? I thought about Usyk for a second here. And so I want you to think about trying to answer these in your minds as I read them off. When has anybody had success bullying Usyk? When has anybody had success grabbing and holding Usyk? When has anyone had success holding him up against the ropes, getting him against the ropes? When has anybody had used head control against Usyk? When has anybody framed Usyk, Steve Cunningham style, like what Fury did against Cunningham? And when has anybody leaned on Usyk? And the answer to all of those things is never. He doesn't let it happen. He's taking the entire inside game, which I first noticed against the Kevin Johnson fight, that Tyson Fury is a damn good inside fighter. Nobody is able to do that. And so I thought to myself, well, who gave him the closest and hardest fight, and why would that be? And it was Bradis, and it was a guy that was his size. But then I said to myself, well, why would that be? And so I started looking at Joe Joyce, because that was when he was against the first big guy that he faced in the Super 6 amateur series or whatever it was.
Uh-huh.
And then I looked at that and I go, okay, well, Joe Joyce is hitting him. And AJ hit him as well. But he got these abrasions on his face. He's not getting, these guys aren't making full contact with his face. But that's not AJ's fault. That's Usyk's fault. I mean, that's Usyk's the reason for that. Because he's using all three of like 3D. In other words, Ali was in and out, Frazier was up and down, and Tyson is tick-tock, right and left. What you're getting with Usyk is all three. So what happens with a big guy? So a big guy like AJ may make contact with him, but he's never getting full leverage on his shots. And the bigger you go, the harder it is to get leverage. If you got a guy 7 feet tall, that energy gets dispersed in your body. He's not getting full contact on his shots. And so Tyson Fury, who is never the hardest puncher in the world, and certainly not the most accurate puncher in the world, we've seen that he's not, is going to have a damn hard time. And notice that the ref in Usyk fights never gets involved. He's never grabbed, he's never held, he's never leaned on. They never have to break him up because the man is constant motion. And because it's constant motion, these guys can't get, it's all arm punches. So he'll go away with abrasions on his face, but these guys are never hitting them clean. It's like trying to catch a greased pig. So now there's another thing in terms of the cardio. Usyk has now had 3 camps in the time Tyson Fury had 1 camp. And in Tyson Fury's case, his camp was basically like going to Jenny Craig. Well, anybody knows that when you lose that kind of weight that fast, it's not going to be good. In other words, you're going to lose it. You're losing energy from that shit. He got used to walking around at 300 pounds. So he's going to be now down at 260 pounds, but he's not going to be it. He's going to get out cardioed and knocked out. You put me down for that. I'm going knockout for this fight.
All right. NPR going with a knockout. Usyk by stoppage. All right, he's going farther and farther. Why not, man? Let's do it. Usyk stoppage.
I like it.
Right. Listen, NPR, I'd love to.
I like the breakdown.
I'd love to ask you to elaborate more, but there's a crackling noise. I don't know if it's on my end or your end, but call back later if you want to. Maybe by then the issue will have resolved. But for the moment, shout out to you. Thank you for your call. And again, try to call back later, right, man, if you want.
Good breakdown, NPR.
All right, man. Yeah, I don't know why we had that issue before with 2 callers a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know if it's maybe their phone clashing with the blog talk. But sometimes
it sounds like it's that BDA. It's their phone. In contrast with the with Block Talk, that's I don't know for whatever reason it's causing that clicking sound.
Right. Well, hopefully I'm gonna try another phone call here, see if it resolves.
I think that was me. My light is almost out of fuel. I was trying to light my crack.
Ah, come on. Shout out to Jay Nels for his contribution with the super chat. He says, put me down for a boring Fury 8-4 type decision, unanimous decision win. Reminiscent of the Klitschko fight, we'll hear boos from the crowd. Fury distant, jab fest, circle the ring. Whoa, all right. So he's saying Fury has the wherewithal, the infrastructure, and the technique to outbox Usyk. So he says Fury UD 8-4. I had to write these type of details down. For decision, jab fest clinic. All right.
When people say boring, BDA, what I hear is outpointing, not really outboxing, you know?
Right. All right. So far, NPR is the first guy to say Usyk stoppage. Although Jimmy did say that there could. Jimmy, didn't you say that in the last episode that you were picking Usyk by stoppage? Now, I guess now you're just going. Okay, but
well,
now
yeah, I did. I would not be surprised. I'm not 100% sure yet if I'm going to go with that, but I'm picking Usyk to win. You know, to be safe right now, I'm going with the win by decision. But if someone gets slept, I believe wholeheartedly it would be Fury, not Usyk getting slept. Because Usyk is showing an amazing chin. He's been taking big shots, but I've never seen him on the verge of going out. I mean, he had Joshua. If he would have pressed it a little bit more, you know what I mean? There was in the first fight especially, he had him on the verge. Remember, some people even thought the ref could have stepped in.
The last round. The last round, the
first fight, he was on the verge of stopping him.
Yeah, I mean,
just from pressure, constant pressure.
I mean, I want to get back to
shots.
that. I want to get back to the issue of the judges. The Quacks is mentioning the referee. That could be another factor. And I also want to talk about the outside the ring drama, the antics of Fury's father. But before we do that, don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. It really helps us out. And let's go back to the phone lines here. Let's go to who was next. I think it was this guy. 713, you're on the air. 713, what's on your mind?
Hello, BDA. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. What's up?
Hello? Yeah, I think I'll pick Fury. Laid by TKO, by stoppage around after the ninth round. I wish Usyk the best. And so far this year, we've had pretty good cards as far as boxing is concerned. But yeah, I think who's training Fury this time? Is it Emmanuel Stewart's nephew, the Crump Gym guy, or is it some other European coach?
Hey, that's a good question. I haven't even.
Does anybody know?
It's not the guy from Detroit. John Fury got in a big thing with him. They don't get along at all.
Who is it?
John Fury's a real asshole. That's
wait.
Yeah.
So who is it then?
I don't know who's training, but I know it's not Emil Stewart's nephew anymore because
Sugar Hill. Yeah.
John Loudmouth blew that up.
Sugar Hill, yeah, that's it.
Wait. Hey, just a quick question. I haven't seen any of the zone previews, whatever. Didn't they show Fury training there? They must have, right? Didn't they show who he's training with, or if anyone's seen it?
I haven't seen it, BDA, but if Sugar Hill's
I
not
think
there,
it's this week, though.
I think Sugar Hill makes Fury a more of an offensive fighter, which works probably for him now in his career.
Team Batman Boxing in the chat is saying that Sugar Hill will be there. He ought to know. He's always up on this type of thing. All right, but go ahead.
Oh, absolutely. But I know what. Ask Batman. Is it true though? Wasn't John Fury having some public spat with Sugar Hill?
I wouldn't be surprised, man. We'll try to find that out later. But I just want to get back to the caller here. Caller, go ahead, man.
Oh yeah, man. If it's Sugar Hill, I'm definitely picking Fury after 9 TKO.
Whoa.
But Usyk is pretty good, but I think he's still too light to be like a true heavyweight. I mean, he competes in it, but I think he's still a little light. Maybe he's had some wars with Joshua. I don't know. He might be also worn down too. There's my only concern about Usyk.
Let me ask you this: do you think Usyk is being overrated?
No. I think I really believe that he's been into some wars that he might not be able to. Because, I mean, it was a size advantage for Fury versus Wilder. And, not Fury versus Usyk. Just a size advantage for Fury. It's a lot. He might pull the same tactics. That's why I was asking who's training Fury for this fight. Is it Sugar Hill? If it is, then I think he might actually beat him. With because he fought better under Sugar Hill. I mean, that's my opinion, too.
Well, we shall see indeed.
But I think he's overrated. I think he's just. I think he's. I'm not saying Usyk is not really too young either. He's getting up there too.
Right, he's 37. Yeah, you're right.
But that's my take on it.
All right, I like the pick.
Thank you for having me on the show, man.
No, sorry, real quick.
Hello? Sorry.
Who is it? Why do I write down for your name?
Oh, Greg Terrible.
Greg Terrible. Okay, shout out. Yeah, I knew you sounded familiar. Shout out to you, Greg Terrible. I wrote it down. Fury late fight TKO, and shout out to you, man. And call back next time, right, man? Take it easy out there.
All right, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Bye.
All right, so now we got two contrasting predictions so far in terms of stoppages. NPR said Usyk stoppage. Greg Terrible, meanwhile, saying Fury late fight TKO. I believe he said the 9th round. So
wow, and just got to let you know too. I guess Usyk said over the weekend that he ain't never lost to a white boy, and he ain't gonna start now. So just putting that out there.
Oh, man. Just want to say, if Gypsy King is listening, I will never lose to a gypsy. That will never happen.
Yeah, and people, you know what people are gonna say? So what? It's no big deal. Why are you worried about it? Why are you pointing it out? Why? No one's gonna criticize him. They're just gonna criticize the people that are criticizing him for saying it. Like they did with Devin Haney. Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. Really helps us out. Let's go to another phone call. Let's go to 470. 470, you're in the air. 470, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me?
We can hear you, man. What's up?
All right, so let me just get the conspiracy theory out of the way. If a fight is stopped before 4 rounds have been fully completed due to an accidental foul, it's a no decision. So I have my eye out for that because Fury was quote-unquote cut a few months ago to pull out. I just don't trust the dude. I don't trust his camp. So we'll see what happens on that end. If they actually get into the ring and fight, and the fight's on the up and up, I just think that there's a whole bunch of smoke that's been put out there. The thing is, a lot of American and especially the British boxing people who run the boxing industry, people involved in boxing, they don't want to admit the facts. And one of the facts is, when it comes to pure boxing, Eastern Europeans, the Cubans are better.
Oh, wait a minute.
So if this is a boxing match, Tyson Fury he doesn't have a chance. He didn't have the reflexes and the boxing ability to hit Cunningham, and he's himself admitted this. He had to go to the roughhouse tactics, borderline illegal tactics. So if this is a straight up boxing match, he can try to use his jab. It's going to get slipped. It's going to get countered. Usyk is going to get on the inside. I just don't think he has the conditioning, the mental conditioning, physical conditioning, the skills to beat Usyk in a 12-round boxing match. So I'm going with Usyk. I'm going to go ahead and say late stoppage.
Usyk, late stoppage. All right, then. You sound familiar. What's your name? Or what do I write down as a name?
You put me down as Chris in Atlanta.
Okay, yeah, Chris from Atlanta. Okay. Do you suspect Fury might do something dirty like he did against Ngannou if his back is against the wall?
I believe that's why his dad is there. As you saw today, his dad somehow got himself cut. Isn't that interesting?
I mean,
throwing a headbutt. Okay. When it comes to Fury, you know what? During the fight, Usyk is going to have to watch out. It could be a headbutt. It could be low blows. It could be elbow, like he threw against Ngannou. I believe that Fury's going to, I think you guys already said it, he's going to come out, he's going to try to use his jab, set the distance. If Usyk tries to get in, he's just going to be held. There's going to be a roughhouse, just really aggressive roughhouse tactics used if Usyk, gets inside, similar to what you probably saw in the Fury sparring clip where he was cut, where he was allegedly cut, where he's grabbing, he's hitting behind the head, he's hitting to the hips, he's hitting low. He's going to use he's going to use all those things, and Usyk has just got to be ready for it. But in the end, I just don't think it's going to amount to much. But I do think that they have those tactics in their back pocket, ready to use them if need be. But at the end of the day, I just don't think it'll be enough.
All right. Well, we shall see if hopefully it doesn't get too ugly in there. But all right. Well, listen. Thank you for your call. Call back next time, Ryman. Take it easy out there.
All right, guys. Yep.
Yeah, that's the big point of contention: is how, if at all, is Fury gonna pull out the dirty stuff? Because again, his back's against the wall now. It was against the wall against Ngannou, and it's up against it now. His legacy's on the line here. He might not get another shot at undisputed. So hopefully that's not the case. Nobody likes a dirty fight. But we'll see what happens. Let's go to another phone call here. Let's go to 973. 973, you're on the air. 973, what's on your mind?
Hey, how's it going, boys?
What's up, 973?
So I got my prediction for you and something about the bookies in Vegas, something that you guys might find interesting. So as far as the Fury-Usyk fight, I'm convinced Usyk will win in at least 7 or 8 rounds. I worry about those judges and the ref, though, man. I really do. Like, the amount of licking of chops for Joshua versus Fury, like, they'll do it. And this is something interesting. I forget the channel they pointed out. Usyk schooled Joshua in both fights. I would say 8-4 in the second, 9-3 in the first fight. That may debate that if you want, but it was he schooled them. They had I think a 115, 113 card in the first fight, and then that robbery card from Feldman in the second fight, and Usyk schooled him, right? So my worry is if he's winning close rounds and Fury's doing his shenanigans, showboating, hitting Usyk on the shoulder in the guard, so I'm going to go Usyk, split decision, but don't be surprised if they rob him.
Interesting.
And this is Thane Vicarian, and then I got something about the gambling that's funny if you guys want to hear it.
Wait, what did you say? Fame Vicarian? That's your name?
Yeah. I'm in the chat. I'll pop something up in there. Thane, Thane.
Oh, okay, Thane. Okay. I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. And okay, so what were you gonna say about the bookies? The bookies?
That's a fake fan, right?
So my buddy, what's that? Broke up there for a second. So my buddy works for one of the bookies in Vegas, and he is, no offense, not the brightest dude in the world.
Come on.
He helps set the odds for certain sports. I don't even know how much I want to say. He'll text me about stuff, and he's supposed to be the expert. And I've seen him affect odds off of what I've given him. And I know a bit about some stuff, but I'm not an expert by any means. So I think Jimmy's right. They got clowns and dudes vaping and they do some corny stuff. He was telling me at the bookie place they do picnics and shit. It's really corny, man.
That does not fill me with confidence at all, man. You're saying they're vaping. What are they vaping exactly?
You know, man.
No.
And actually, there's something else he told me. I think I got to remember the lingo. He said what they do is they basically look for big. I think they're called sharps, the guys who put in big money.
Right.
And that's what they start their odds on, or that's how they solidify it, something like that. It's a big part of how they set their odds. So, somebody filthy rich like you, Mr. BDA, could put down 10 million on Fury, even though he's not going to win, right? And that could affect the odds. So I don't trust it. Is my point of all that story.
You're saying they're hitting the bong. You don't trust them. You think they're not that educated. I'm telling you, man. You're starting to give me some ideas here. That's all I'm going to say about that. Well, listen, Thane. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for that insight. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. You were reading something from a book before, man, and I just there's only one book that you need, and you know what that book is, man. Come on.
Absolutely, the Satanic Bible.
The Lord's book.
Oh no, yeah, that one, yeah. That
one,
yes,
come on.
Course, right. No.
All right, guys, have a good one.
All right, shout out to you, Thane. Take it easy, man. Yeah, no,
I meant to say
later, guys.
BDA.
I meant to say the Bible. I meant to say the holy Bible.
No. That was a Floridian slip. You're a Satanist.
Well, listen. I mean, let's ask if we ask Jimmy what his favorite one, it's probably Mein Kampf or something. So don't jump.
Satanic Verses.
The Satanic Verses. There you go.
Satanic Verses by Yashogi. That's my favorite.
Well, there you go. All right, let me.
BDA.
What's up?
I wanted to comment on that guy's name. I wanted to know that there's another fellow Mass Effect fan right here, because I know how he got that name, Dave Vicarian, and I was trying to get his attention, but yeah, y'all was talking about the bookie stuff.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to interrupt you, bro. Go ahead.
No, sorry. Yeah, sorry about this, because sometimes the connection is bad between you guys and the caller, so I wanted him to get it out of the way, what he was going to say, but we didn't get a chance to go back at you. But shout out to Thane for giving us that inside info, but the bookies, they're not exactly Sam Rothstein's anymore, is what he's saying, to coincide with what Jimmy was saying as well. Let's go to our phone call here. Let's go to 917. 917, you're on the air. 917, what's your mind?
Ella, Ticanate. It's Costa.
Oh, Costa, what's up, man?
Hello. Yeah. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic,
Listen,
Costa.
Fury, he looks, he's in shape, eh? Lost a little bit of fat, eh? Stop eating all the souvlaki.
He looks like an Adonis.
Not really, but he got the Souvlaki out in this fight. Put it that way,
Uh-huh.
But listen, let's keep it simple, Usyk is gonna make this motherfucker quit.
All right.
I guarantee he's gonna make this motherfucker quit. Shout out to Dicky Sauce. Eat him up.
But which round? Which round?
Round 10.
All right. There
What
you
did you
go.
say? Put him in tzatziki sauce?
Well, there you go, man. Hey, listen, Costa's always usually on
Did he
point,
say
man.
Malacca? Did
He said
Of course
Malaga,
he did.
yeah. The Mal- Anything else you want to say,
Yasu
Costa?
Costa. Yasu Costa.
That's it, BDA. Keep it up,
Absolutely. I always keep it up.
love
I don't
the
need
show.
no medicine
Love
for
the
that.
show.
All right, take it easy out there, man. Thank you for calling, Jose.
Take it easy.
Take it easy, man. Let's get to go back to the kitchen there with the souvlakis. Let me read a couple of super chats before we return to the phone calls here. And by the way, though, I'll be, or no, maybe me or Bucho will be doing another show, possibly tomorrow, of just a complete phone line thing, phone call. So in case anybody wants to call in, you're welcome to do so tomorrow if you don't have the chance today. Shout out to the Quacks for his contribution with the super chat. He says, put me down for a draw. Whoa. Oh, come on. You want to be special there, Quacks? He says...
no Quack.
He says,
put me down for...
He says, put me down for a draw. The fight's going to be dirty as fuck. If it was a square playing field, I take Usyk. All right. So he says, draw, dirty fight. Dirty fight. Dirty. And he said, okay, so he's saying he might not be on the up and up. Might not be on the level. Decision might not be on the level.
You got to see my Usyk shades. I got them imported.
Is that right? Then they don't call they don't call them shades. Then they call them eyewear. If they're more than $100, they're not shades or eyewear. That's what
You
somebody.
got to ask me where was it imported from?
Did you buy it from some Nigerian guy in Brooklyn or?
Yes.
Nah, come on.
It was imported from. It was imported from Jersey.
Nah, okay, come on, man. All right, listen. Want to give a shout out to Medardo Garcia. Shout out to Medardo for his contribution to the super chat. He says, "I have Usyk by decision. Fury's past performances haven't impressed me." All right, so Medardo is unimpressed. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to say Medardo unimpressed, highly unimpressed with Fury, and he picks Usyk by decision. All right, shout out to Quags and Medardo. Fellas, don't forget to hit the like. Let's go back to another phone call here. We're taking down your predictions. Let's go to 323. 323, you're on the air. 323, what's on your mind?
What's going on, fellas? Listen,
what's up?
I don't think this is going to go very well for Fury. And I do believe deeply that they're going to fucking try to do anything they can to fuck this guy over. God damn it, BC. Fucking. All right, God damn it. They're gonna fuck this dude. And it's not gonna be easy for Usyk, though. I will say that. It's not gonna be an easy fight for Usyk. I think they're gonna put up any roadblocks they can for him. I don't know who the ref is, but I almost think that that we're gonna see another what's his name with the Harvey Dock situation. But Usyk's not a dirty fighter. It's going to be it's going to be very difficult to justify taking a point away from Usyk for anything. Just for any situation. So there might be he might break them. He might take his time and give Usyk time to recover if there's any kind of fuckery with the refs. I just don't think it's going to be a very easy fight for him, but I do have Usyk winning this fight. But, for all the reasons you guys touched on earlier, it's the exact same way I feel about Usyk's career and Fury's career. Fury hasn't had an elite level opposition since Vladimir Klitschko. And that's worse than I can't tell which one is worse, Gervonta or him, as far as the last time these guys fought anyone elite, anyone good, anyone that was considered a top 5, top tier, fucking top 8 level competition. It's been so long So I don't know. It's really hard for me to say especially because of the age. And yeah, somebody mentioned some slippage by Usyk. Maybe not slippage, but maybe noticed that he was a little slower. And I don't know. That could play a factor. The guy's getting a little older too. I've seen him on interviews lately. The gray hair is coming in pretty nicely, and yeah, man, I still have Usyk winning this fight, but I do think it's going to be an uphill battle for him. That's
there
all.
you go. All right, well, I got you down for that. I wrote down Don Madrazo says Usyk decision.
I'm not going to say which one it's going to be, but I think it'll be either a late stoppage or it'll be a unanimous decision. But the unanimous decision is going to be like if they fuck him, it's going to be a huge robbery. I think. So I just hope it's not that. I really, you know what? I hope not, because you guys think about it. If they rob Usyk, it's going to be great for everybody because they want to make that Joshua and Fury fight. They really want to make that fight. So I don't know.
We'll see, man.
And if we see Joshua and Usyk again, you know what's going to happen. So
yeah,
there's that.
You're right. You're right, man. All right, well, listen, Don Madrazo, I got you down for that. Thank you for your call. Call back next time, right, man? Take it easy out there.
I'll talk to you later, motherfuckers.
All right, I see that type of language, man. I mean, I don't really get it, man.
Why you got to use all this kind of language, huh?
I mean, yeah. I'd like to. I ask him all that all the time. By the way, there's a reason why people think I'm kidding around about the language, but my priest is a boxing fan. We often talk about boxing. Incidentally, his prediction was the way he put it to me. Very colorful guy. He said that Tyson Fury is like a pair of breasts. In its heyday, they were nice and firm. Now he's getting older. Bad lifestyle has making them saggy, pendulous, and now he's trying to firm them back up, but it ain't gonna work out to the way they were before. So that's the way he put it. I said, you know what? That's a very good prediction. I mean, the way of putting it right there. I think the guy had a degree in literature before he got into before he became a priest. So I think
he had a degree in literature. Maybe he had a degree in porn.
Come on, wait a minute. He's listening here. Come on, man. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry, but whatever.
Be fucking nice. Be nice. Don't fuck up in here.
All right. Let's. We got another phone call here. Don't forget to hit the like. It really helps us out. Let's go to another phone call here. Let's go to 510. 510. You're on the air. 510. What's on your mind? 510. You're on the air. Hello. Okay. Now we can hear you. What's up? We can hear you.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
What's up, Timmy? What's up, Recognize? Shout out to Chief. Shout out to Uncle Pete. I got Usyk, 9th round. What's up, dude? I got Usyk, 9th round TKO. I'm tired of Fury's bullshit. I'm tired of all the gypsy shit. He hasn't fought anybody good in a long time. He's a lesser talent. I think overall one of the weaker heavyweights of all time. Overrated. So hopefully Usyk smashes this guy. I see him hurting him to the body, and that's how he's gonna set up the TKO. So yeah, that's it. Fuck that motherfucker.
Wait.
I don't think there'll be a robbery because the fight is taking place in Riyadh, right? Right, Jimmy?
What did you say the round was?
No, hold on. I'm talking to Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy,
I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. We gotta. Hold on. I gotta write down the round. I gotta write down the round before we move forward.
It's taking place in Saudi Arabia, right?
That's not a round.
Yeah, it's Saudi Arabia.
Dude, I just told you the round. It's 9th round TKO.
9th round. Okay, that's all you had to say.
It's happened in the land of militants, extremism.
Right. Yeah. Well, so I think they'll be fair on the judges. I mean, obviously, I'm also expecting Fury to come up with the cheap, the clinching, the elbows. So he has to look out for that because I think his back is against the wall in terms of where he's at in his career. So hopefully Usyk just doesn't he doesn't let the gas off the pedal. I think hopefully he just smashes through this guy. He has better everything, speed, intelligence, whatever, better weight distribution with his punches. What I like about when Usyk fights too, the sequences, how he sets up his offense, and the strings of his offense are just great. They're exceptional. So it's not by chance that this guy's one of the top fighters in the world. I think in my pound for pound, I have Inoue, and then I have Usyk, you know, and then I have Crawford. That's my top three.
Hey,
and part of the reason why I have
can I ask you
Usyk up
something,
there
bro?
is mainly because he's actually doing Usyk is actually doing pound for pound shit, you know. Usually I would agree with Jeremy's sentiment that, you know, not to include the heavyweight fighters. But in terms of Usyk, he just always, you know, expressed the ability to fight at a higher level, and he has exceptional talent there. And he's taking risks, you know, in terms of fighting bigger guys with the weight. He's always usually the smaller guy, so I can always respect that. So that's why he's my top four. So that's it.
Hey,
so
Booty Loose,
Fury.
can I ask you something about your pound for pound
Hopefully
list,
gets
bro?
sparked out. That's it.
Can I ask you something about your pound for pound list, bro? I want to know where you have Carlos on your pound for pound list, bro.
He hung up. I mean, I don't think he wants to hear it anymore. Either from me or from you, though. So I mean, he's.
He doesn't want it anymore.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. If I were him, I wouldn't.
To me, he only speaks to me and Jimmy. He doesn't speak to you guys.
Right. But I wasn't. Hey, I wasn't trying to be I wasn't trying to be difficult. I really didn't hear the round, but he was being obtuse and hard headed. Buttigieg has to relax, man. We used to be cool, but again, you know, I asked him. I told him, "Hey, we used to be cool. What happened?" You know what happened? I said, I really don't. But anyway, if he wants to carry it this way, I mean, hey, that's fine, man. I don't need to talk to him. But by the way, fellas, don't forget to hit the like. It really helps us out. Now, we're going to move on to this, by the way, this subject, which is the drama outside the ring. Tyson Fury's father acting like a maniac. Now, I can't play you. Most people already know what happened. He headbutted a guy in the build-up to this fight. You know, they had the grand entrance or whatever. Now, I can't play you the assault because YouTube is pretty iffy about that. But I think most of you already saw the video. And it was completely unnecessary. Fury later on, John Fury said, "Oh, he got into my space." If you watch the video, you will conclude that was not the case. He's making it up. Now, this is a guy that used to be in prison for assault before. He's a hothead. He's got a short trigger. So don't really... And at some point, he was selling water. There was some gypsy well, water from a gypsy magic well or something. He was actually selling that magic water. I'm not kidding around. Google it. Anyway, this is some of his behavior before the... Oh, no, actually, that's the headbutt that I said I couldn't play. What the hell? Excuse me. Hold on. Where is the clip I wanted to show you here? Yeah, that's completely the opposite. What is this? My bad, man. What the hell? Okay, I'm clicking.
Hey, my pops told me a story where he did that to somebody too, and it wasn't recent. He's like, they're around the same age. I'm like, what's up with these old guys, bro?
I'm sorry, I played that by accident, man. My bad. And so what happened? What?
I said my pops told me a story recently where he did something similar to somebody. He's around the same age as John Fury. I'm like, what's going on, man?
Yeah, what is going on, man?
I don't remember that being an opening move, but I guess you got to be at some real street shit, dude, to open the fight with the headbutt.
It's a cheap shot is what it is, especially to a guy that didn't do anything to him. This is the clip I wanted to play you. For some reason, you wouldn't play until I played that the headbutt there, but this is John Fury's behavior afterwards.
Never mind, give a fuck! That was his fucking trick! Put his fucking face in! Okay, no issue. But my issue is, he looks like a little boy now! Now you've been headbutted and splatted, you look like a little boy! You pussy bastard! Come here, headbutted and splatted, and now he looks like a little boy! The fucking idiot! Let him up! Can't be beat! We can't be beat! We can't be beat nowhere! We are smart!
This nigga's crazy, man.
All right, so first of all, let me say this. First of all, we can't be beat. I was like, who is he? Is he fighting Saturday?
He's scared shitless, dude. That's posturing. He's scared like a motherfucker.
I just want to say this.
John Fury, I've seen videos of you getting knocked out.
Let me say this real quick. Because I know it goes without saying, but we're laughing and everything, so I just want to point out to people out there that headbutt was completely unacceptable. If I was Turkey, Alishiki, or whatever, I would ban him from the premises right off the bat, because that is talking is one thing, sticks and stones, but a headbutt, that is completely unacceptable. You know what he reminds me of? John Fury reminds me of a rowdy, unruly dog that's improperly trained. And when you take him to the park, he starts biting the other dogs for no reason. That's what he reminds me of. I mean, that dude can't. That headbutt came out of nowhere. You guys saw it. I wasn't even supposed to play it, but I did by accident. And you know what my explanation could be? And again, I'm not justifying it. I think this guy's got CTE or something, and that's why he's got a short fuse. But whatever the reason, it's completely unacceptable, and he should really be. I know Tyson Fury is not going to say anything because that's his pops, but he should really call him out and say, "Hey, talking is one thing, doing what he did, completely unacceptable." But anyway, that's all I want to say about that.
He's a thug. That's all he is. He's just a thug.
Yeah. And he really did look like a dog with all that blood streaming down his face. If you ever seen a dog in a fight or like kill another animal, they'll just have their own blood or the other animal's blood all over their face, and like they'll just come like try to sit next to you or act like nothing, act like nothing's wrong. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's all he was right there.
That's a good way of putting it, man.
You're looking at him with all that blood in his face, and he's looking at you saying, "What are you on about? What's the problem?"
Yeah.
What's your fucking problem?
Man? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, you're the crazy one for not going around biting people. You know, that's the way the dog looks at you. I mean, and then on top of that, yeah, people point out the fact that he headbutts the guy. He's the one that ends up bleeding. Again.
What an ass.
Possibly all that alcoholism. Thin the skin. And that's why he's... How do you headbutt the guy?
Yeah. Hey, BDA, there's a lot of videos of John Fury when he was younger getting his ass whipped. Right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's that's probably why he's got a short fuse. He's got CTE. Too many black spots in the brain, maybe. And the other thing is that, he starts screaming that, "We can't be beat. We're Spartans." Again, he does this all the time. Remember when Fury had that stare down with Ngannou? And he took his shirt off, and then his father, John Fury, takes his shirt off too, and starts crowding Ngannou. I was like, "Man, you're gonna get your ass knocked down, man." It reminds me of Stoney, the guy who used to train John Ruiz. He always used to scream and holler. And one time he stepped up to Roy Jones's trainer during the weigh-in, and the guy knocked him out cold. I don't know why they had to open up his shirt, and it turns out he has a lot of
Norman Stone, yeah.
Norman Stone, yeah, thank you. He has a lot in common with John Fury. They're both bald, they're both fat, and they're loudmouth. The only difference is John Fury hasn't got knocked out yet in the streets recently.
He will.
I mean, he keeps it up. And that's the other thing. He headbutts the guy, and then within a millisecond, he turns around and leaves, knowing that people are going to restrain the guy. I mean, I got to tell you, that was him and his son, man.
He looked like he punked out. Like he did one of those cheap chop moves. He made sure that everybody was around so they could break it up.
Right. But then the lie. Here's the thing. The lie. He said, well, the guy stepped up to me, to my space. And I'm thinking, look, Reckoners can talk about this. Him and I are cut from the same cloth. We don't let anybody get in our space. We check him right away. But we check him in an appropriate manner. We don't just headbutt somebody. Yeah. And even then, that wasn't the case here with John Fury. The guy just passed him by, stared at him, and John Fury, from 1 second to the other, goes from 1 to 100. I mean, I'm telling you, this is completely unacceptable.
White trash.
I mean,
yeah, he's trash, bro. He is. Fuck that dude.
That has to be fake, right? Like he put a razor blade on his forehead before he did it. Who the fuck headbutts somebody right in the middle of your forehead? Like that's like right where you get shot if you're executed in World War II or something.
Same like technique Fury used to cut himself open.
You headbutt him with the crown of your head. You don't fucking hit him with your above your eyebrows. Stupid.
Maybe he wants to be a Hindu or something. That's why he wanted to have that respite.
Scared. He knows what time it is.
Do you think that's what it is, man? That's what Bucho told me. Bucho said, and I think Jimmy said it too, that the guys they're acting this way because they're terrified. Does that make sense to you guys? Or if you could break it down?
Just posturing, because there's. If anybody ever wonders what a fat fuck looks like after they get on the gas, look at Tyson Fury right now. There must be either no drug testing or the show must go on, so he doesn't care. But that guy, that's what an unathletic fat fuck looks like when he gets on some trend or whatever the fuck he's doing. It ain't gonna matter, but just so you know, you never seen him. That's pure fear. He knows what time it is.
Yeah, because it's hard for me to wrap my head around that type of behavior, like, being scared and then as a result of that headbutting, I guess I'm much different than that dude. That's why I can't comprehend it, but it makes sense, man. That's the way they react to fear. It's just lashing out at whoever steps to them. That's a possibility right there, man.
Wasn't it some like young kid or something? It wasn't even anybody, was it? There was nobody important in that team.
Apparently, it was somebody from Usyk's team, but yeah, it was just a
Usyk's wife.
His wife.
No, it wasn't.
But I gotta check. Listen, I'm gonna call back in like a half an hour. I gotta check out for a little bit, guys. Peace.
All right, take it easy, Jimmy.
I know it was somebody on Usyk's team, but it wasn't anybody. It looked like a young kid. Looked like a young 20s, like some kind of like, I don't know. I didn't see I saw the clip very briefly, but it looked like a young, not a teenager, but like a young kid, like a guy who had nothing to do with anything. No.
Bucho saying it was Usyk's friend.
Okay. It was Usyk's accountant.
No, it wasn't. Recognize stop spreading fake news, man. First of all, Bucho in the chat is telling us that it was Usyk's friend. Hopefully not like Liberace and his special friends, but just that regular normal friend. But my point is, I wanted to take umbrage with this too. There's IFL TV. They have a YouTube channel and they have a Twitter account with a lot of followers. And IFL TV, they're the ones that have that giant Indian guy or Pakistani. I don't know what he is. He's the one and he's constantly been interviewing Fury. And he's had some very good interviews with Fury. But I've noticed, I haven't really paid too much attention to his account for the past years. But apparently people are saying that he's gotten deep into that Fury ass to the point where it's essentially they're just doing puff pieces for the Furies. So what happened was the controversy was that today, after that headbutt incident, initially they wrote Usyk's team member headbutts John Fury. Then they switched it to John Fury left bleeding after headbutt. And people started calling them out and saying, hey, yo, why are you changing it to that? Now, initially I thought, all right, maybe they didn't see exactly what happened and they heard through the grapevine, oh, it was somebody from Usyk's team headbutted him. All right, that's fine. But when they thought that, they explicitly said Usyk's team member headbutts John Fury. Then once they realized that wasn't the case, they never went with the predicate of John Fury headbutts a guy. They just said he's bleeding from a headbutt, as if an floating head was traveling across the room and it hit John Fury in the head. That's not what happened. So people were calling them out. Now let me tell you why I think they might have done this on purpose. It's a two-pronged thing. They did it to protect John Fury. They don't want to cast aspersions on the guy. But number two, I think they're doing this on purpose too, because they know that people are going to go on the message section of the tweet and comment on it. Now you got to keep take into consideration websites like IFL. They rely on sponsors. So what they do is they're the type of organization that's obsessed with impressions, Twitter impressions, and impact and comments and interaction. So they can take all of those statistics and present them to a potential advertiser. So that's why I think it's those little tricks. Bucho told me that he's up on all the little dirty tricks about YouTube. He says that sometimes what people will do on YouTube, they'll purposely have a grammatical error in the title so that people write that in the comment sections. Like, hey, you got the title wrong. That counts as an interaction, as an impression. That's how these people think. Again, I'm not saying that I'm 100% sure that that's what they're doing, but I'm pretty sure that again, since the fact that they have sponsors, they probably look at it that way. Like, hey, any type of interaction is good interaction, even if they're clowning us or calling us out for a lack of integrity or unbiasedness. So I don't know, man. But it was kind of interesting to see that on Twitter that people were going at them saying, how come you didn't say John Fury headbutts a guy out of nowhere? That was a peculiar thing right there. And again, it's only Monday. It's only Monday. We got a long way to go. More potential drama.
I mean, it's not up for interpretation. It's on film. It's like fucking the guy was just standing there like, what? The Usyk's buddy or Usyk's accountant, whoever he was, his insurance agent, he was just standing there like, what? The fuck?
It was his travel agent.
This guy just headbutt me with his forehead like a fucking moron or what? Drunk probably. Hey, Mr. BDA, does YouTube have any prohibition against the N-word? Because if not, I'd like to say something about Anthony Joshua.
No, wait a minute.
Whoa.
What's the matter with you, man?
Well, here, let me continue. Hear me out. So basically, it's this Ngannou fight.
Oh, come on, wait a minute.
If I'm not mistaken, weren't like most of the people on this panel picking Usyk, picking Tyson Fury to beat Usyk before the Ngannou thing, before like the two Ngannou fights with AJ and Fury?
I certainly wasn't.
Or do I have? You were never picking Usyk. I mean, Fury over Usyk.
I believe I was always on the fence with that one.
Mm-hmm. Or recognize. How about you?
I've been picking Usyk since Fury has been
shit against Ngannou. Huh?
Yeah. I think especially after the Ngannou fight, but maybe even before that. Like when he was selecting like Chisora for the third time for no reason, I'm like, yeah. I see what's happening here.
Yeah, man. This Ngannou fight really changed a lot of people's minds because I was listening to the show when you guys first came on the air, and I was like shocked that everybody was picking Usyk. But I guess, like I'm saying, like 3 years ago, I think AJ and Usyk are the best two heavyweights on the planet.
No kidding.
I think that's just what you saw in those two fights. That's just the 1 and 2 guys in the heavyweight division. And just because Fury came out and like basically caught Wilder off guard, like in the second fight, and like he never recovered, but really the first fight and the third fight were pretty even. I mean, there were two different fights, but the first fight was really probably legitimately was a draw. And the third fight, they were both dropping each other, just slugging it out with each other. The second fight, he caught him off guard, but I mean, like, and Wilder's such a simple jack that he doesn't understand how to either clinch or take a knee or whatever. He just keeps like wobbling around. So, I mean, Usyk's going to like outclass him, outpoint him. He's going to beat the shit out of him. And Fury's going to be lost. And I tell you what, his only real strategy is to go for Usyk's body, like AJ did, or to rampage after him like Chisora did, but he don't have the feet to do either of those two things. He's going to get his ass kicked.
All right, so you're saying, I'm writing down the prediction, you're saying Usyk beats the crap out of Fury.
Yeah, beats the shit out of him, embarrasses him.
Crap.
And Fury knows it.
Decision?
Fury knows it too.
Decision or?
Yeah.
Decision.
But
all
like
right.
decision, but like with knockdowns, with like staggerings, like ass beating, not close.
In other words, when whatever you see from Fury on a Saturday night, that's a stumbling, slurring, a lot of bleeding,
mumbling, stumbling prick.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Well, listen. I mean, you know what you said? Hey, were you guys speaking Fury and Usyk? You asked that question. I remember back before the Ngannou fight, a lot of people were pointing to the Wallin fight, the Fury Wallin fight, as a metric by which to judge how Usyk would do against it. I'm not doing that because Wallin he's not an in and out guy. He's a pretty big dude. He's 6 feet 5 inches tall, according to BoxRec, and he doesn't set up his shots anywhere near as well as Usyk does. So I'm actually watching more the Klitschko fight, the Klitschko and the Fury fight, to try to gauge how Fury's gonna. I'm telling you, I think Usyk's gonna try to walk Fury down in a lot of ways. But I also must say that in terms of picking Usyk by stoppage, I remember I picked Usyk to beat Joshua the first time by decision, and I wasn't sure whether how much he was gonna hurt him during the fight. Then by the time the rematch comes, I was conferring with Gonzalo a lot, and Gonzalo is one of the people that convinced me, hey, Usyk's going to knock Joshua out. I said, you know what? Yeah, I can see it, because I think Joshua's talking about how his heroes are these gangsters, and he wants to go back to the mean streets, and I'm thinking, all right, I don't think he's quite there. But, hey, I think I underestimated how durable Joshua is, and I think I might have overestimated how hard Usyk hits. Now, don't get me wrong, he gets people's attention. But I can't really judge the Dubois fight too much, because Dubois is like the guy, he took a couple of taps and just said, and he just fell to the ground. That wasn't exactly, they weren't exactly big shots. That was more Dubois just being tired, mentally broken, and said, that's it, I'm calling it a night. If Fury tucks his chin in, I have a hard time seeing Usyk decking him. Unless maybe he hits him in the forehead the way Cunningham did. But even then, although then again, the flip side to that coin is lesser fighters have dropped Fury. Yeah, a bunch of domestic
Usyk's going to come out fast in this fight. He looks pretty small. He don't look big like he did against Joshua. He looks pretty damn lean in this fight.
Is that right?
During his little photo, during his photo shoot, I think he's coming in with speed. But I think AJ will beat Fury's ass too, to be honest with you. Just saying.
It's interesting how things change, man, because in 2021, right as we were still, the pandemic was easing a little bit, and there were, Fury and Joshua were about to fight. Remember that they had those negotiations early in the year? Most people were picking Fury. Most people were saying he was going to wear Joshua down. Joshua was going to have success early, but then he was going to get tired and he's mentally weak. And now how things have changed. Now Fury's the one that's mentally weak. He's the drug addict. He's the guy that has his father off a leash, trying to terrorize people. Wow,
a lot of people were picking Fury to beat Usyk. A lot of people. After his run with AJ, his run with Wilder, his trilogy, that fucking timeless masterpiece of a trilogy they had. And after AJ and Usyk went close, I'm like, dude. And then after what's his name hit Usyk with that body shot or that belt line shot, whatever the hell it was that put him down, I'm like, you guys are making too big of this Fury win over Wilder, dude. That's really all he's ever given you.
Well, let's address
that's all
that.
He's ever done.
Let's address that. Let's go back. You mentioned something we haven't touched on, which is that Dubois-Usyk fight. Again, I've heard people say, for me, Dubois still, he won that fight. They scored that as a TKO with victory for Dubois. Now, I'm not getting into the veracity of the low blow, whether it was a low blow or a legit body shot, but what do you guys think about that when people say that Usyk has a glass body?
I mean, you know who's been saying that? Beterbiev. I think Beterbiev really doesn't like Usyk, but he said that a few times, that he's weak to the body.
Those guys got so much upper body movement, so much head movement, and their southpaws that you got to go for the body. Now, this is what I'm going to say about that body shot, right? Dude, if you're on the field, if you're on any sport, boxing's a sport, just in case anybody doesn't know that. Like, I know you can die in the ring and all this shit. You can die on a construction site too, but it's a game. All right? Little kids do it. Women do it. It's a fucking game. No one's going to die. So if you're on a football field and somebody and a ref makes a bad call and gives you a penalty, puts a penalty, throws a flag and penalizes the other team in your favor, and really nothing ever happened, it was a bad call, you don't wave it off. You take the penalty. You take the windfall. So if Usyk got hit in the body, went down to his knees, and then looked up and the ref's telling him, waving it, telling him, low blow, take your time, and he sits there and takes his time, then he sits there and takes his time. He just benefited from a windfall. It's human nature. It's human error. If it was not a low blow, I don't know. If it was a low blow, then he sat there and he took time. But if that referee had been counting in his face and it was a legit body shot and the referee had been counting 1, 2, 3, he would have, who's to say he wouldn't have got up, dude? That's my only. Yeah. Like, in other words, people are saying, okay, so if the ref had been counting in his face instead of saying, take your time, low blow, he would have just still sat there on his knees for 2 minutes. Come on, guys. It's like, you guys gotta look to the referee in any sport. You gotta look to the ref's call. You gotta respect the whistle, the timeout, the instructions. You gotta listen to him. So if he's telling you, if he's not counting, but instead he's giving you the windfall of a penalty, or calling a foul, then sit there and catch your breath, dude.
Wait a minute. Are you refereeing Pee-wee games or something now? Because it sounds like you got your kid players there, and then you're trying to hey guys, I'm going to call into the show and I'm going to let them know about how you have to respect the referee. Is that what you're doing?
Yep.
I'm refereeing slap fights.
You're right. He's refereeing illegal underground fights to the death. Exactly. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. Bum fights.
Yeah, but you're right. Look, we could go either way. We could speculate, well, maybe Usyk wouldn't have gotten up, or maybe he would have because he would have been at risk of losing. We don't know. It happened the way it happened. Now, but that's the thing, that the question is that some people make it seem as if all Fury has to do is go to the body and Usyk is going to collapse. Dubois continued going to the body, and he never got Usyk in as much trouble as he did in that round. So just going to the body doesn't automatically mean he's going to drop Usyk. Same thing with the Beterbiev. He did hurt Usyk in that one fight they had the World Championships, but he never had him in as much trouble in the Olympics to the body. He went to the body in that one against Usyk, and Usyk took it. So, to me, yeah, if Fury hits him correctly. Like I said, watch that. Oh man, I think it was the 9th round or something against Wallin. He hit Wallin with more than a shovel hook. It was practically an uppercut, left uppercut to the body, right under the elbow, behind and under the elbow, and you could tell Wallin didn't like it. So yeah, Fury has to go to the body, man. And he might not even make it
way taller than Usyk, though. You know what I'm trying to say? Like he's almost as tall as Fury's lanky ass. The problem Fury has is that he's too tall. And Fury's too short. I mean, and Usyk's too short, and Fury's too unathletic to reach down and safely touch his body, like without catching a serious return fire, like bad.
Exactly. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, if he goes to the body, like he gives himself up.
Chisora, when he just bum rushed him, when Chisora just came after him like an animal, like he came after Usyk like a rampaging animal. Fury doesn't have the footwork to even do that. And he's not, and I mean, everybody gets on AJ about how robotic he is and all, like he's too muscular. He's a fucking pro athlete. Like, what do you want him to look like? What do you want him to look like? Fury? Like a slug?
Yeah, but that's the other thing. That's the other thing. Somebody said that Usyk's looking at a shape. He doesn't have abs. That's why he can take a punch. I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Just because you can't see your abs doesn't mean you're not working your abs. It could, Usyk's never exactly been the most ripped. Even at cruiserweight, you couldn't see his abs. That doesn't mean he's not working on it. There's plenty of guys there's plenty of guys out there you can't see. Fury's probably got abs, but he's got so much fat around him you can't see him. I mean, seeing your abs just means you got low body fat. Doesn't necessarily mean you can't work your abs and they're gonna pop out through the fat. So I mean that's bodybuilding. I mean aesthetics 101. Anybody will tell you that.
Not everybody could look like a Greek goddess like me.
Yeah. Goddess?
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I am.
Hey, I was listening to the show earlier and recognized was going, if Fury, what he could do is he could let Usyk like circle the ring and darts in and out, and then my earbud started going and I was like, oh, BDA's fucking Wi-Fi again, his internet, his damn Canadian dial-up. But you know what it was? I was wearing my AirPods in the shower. I was in the shower listening.
We don't need to know that, man. We don't need to know that.
Come on. So you were listening to my voice? You were listening to my voice in the shower? Oh, yeah. Come on, man.
Yep. I was going to town. No, I was like, I'm going to go on the show. And then I'm like, no, hold on. I'm going to rinse off first because I don't want to sit here in my own filth for 2 hours.
Listen, Pete, you're giving us too much info that we don't need to hear, man. Come on, stop it, man.
Hey, by the way,
take a shower. Relax, dude.
I take a shower while I'm on the panel, so don't do that.
He's just killed a little fucking menace.
Well, I kind of like did that before, and I learned a lesson.
Yeah, I just learned mine. Wow, I was blaming it on BDA's. I was blaming it on BDA's internet.
Well, there you go, guys. If you're showering while listening to the show and you hear the weird sound, it's probably on your end. The water hitting the earbuds, not my end.
Shorting out.
Hey, listen, I want to go back to this, before we go, I want to go back to Tyson Fury's father, John Fury, who, again, headbutted the guy out of nowhere for no reason. Well, I mean, he had a reason, but it wasn't a valid reason. And somebody posted this on Twitter. This is John Fury talking about Mike Tyson and then how he acts when he actually meets him, so.
I'll fight Mike Tyson, he's making a comeback. I know Mike Tyson mentioning my boy's name every 5 minutes. Here I am. John Fury is hiding from no man, not even the king of the old men, Mike Tyson. I will fight Mike Tyson. Do you hear that then? Because I will not be denied. I will die in a fight. I'm as game as an American Yankee cock. I will die before I'll give it. I'll fight.
An American Yankee cock. And then this is him when he finally met Tyson.
Here he is, my Here he is, my main man. This is him, the man I want to name my son after. The best heavyweight in his era, this best young man ever born. Michael Tyson.
You're still taking the title to the next
level. We will not let your name down, Michael.
Thank you, and I appreciate that. I want to say that.
You know, the way Mike Tyson's trying to get away from John Fury, I think John Fury has something different from Pete, and that is I don't think this guy showers. I mean, look at how Mike Tyson just wants to get out of
This
there.
is my main man. This is him, the man.
Yeah, Mike Tyson knows he's a nut job too. He's like, yo, listen, let me get away from him if I have to kill this guy.
Yeah, maybe that's
John
true.
Fury's the type of guy that gets his ass beat once a year in a bar and like wakes up in the bushes all fucked up. 2-3 guys just beat his ass because he's all drunk and just, I'm a fucking warrior. I'm a warrior. I'm a Spartan. People are just like, all right, let's just kick this guy's.
I think he gets away with it too.
Throw him out back.
I think
We're unbeatable.
Yeah, you know people like this, right? You know people like this. They don't know they're alive unless they get their ass
bro.
beat.
I'm related to people like this.
Yeah, like they don't know that they exist unless they're getting their asses beat. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, come on, do it. I don't give a fuck. It's like, all right, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, I
Me
got
and
a
my
question.
two buddies are only half drunk. We're not fully wasted like you. We're gonna beat the shit out of you.
Well, I think he gets away with it also because he's always surrounded by about 15 people who all happen to be bare knuckle fighters. So they probably protect him being the old guy. You know, I was like, yeah. But by the way, can I ask something? When did Mike Tyson start? When did Mike Tyson start dressing like a 17-year-old rapper or wannabe rapper? Look at that. He's got skinny jeans, white sneakers. What's going on here?
I think when he started doing shrooms with Joe Rogan, BDA.
So what? He thinks he's younger now than what he actually is?
Yeah, you gotta look up the monster. You gotta look up the monster.
He found his inner child.
Killer.
I'm telling you, man. I've tried watching that Mike Tyson podcast. I was watching the one where he was.
Have you ever seen the monster?
Yeah,
the little monster.
Look him up, the monster. Now, yeah, anyway.
He's too shit-faced. He's too stoned. He's too baked in that podcast that he does, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Like he's like too baked. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
and Pete, nobody wants to say anything because they're afraid they're afraid he's gonna kick their ass.
Because he's like a dog.
What do you say to somebody that's completely chiefed out like that, like completely gone? Like you can't talk about, you can't talk him back into it. It's like, bro, hey man, hey.
He's like a little dog, man. It's like a little pit bull. You let him
He's
out.
like a wasted, yeah, he's like a wasted teenager. Like my nephew's like, hey, what's up, bro? What's up, Uncle Pete? What's up, bro?
What's up, cuz?
I call him on the phone sometimes, and you can hear it in his voice. You know, what's up, Uncle Pete, man? What's up, man?
Hey, you just described Never Sobers. Same thing when he calls in here, especially when his laptop ain't working. It's like, oh, hold on, BDA, let me call you right back.
Bro.
Hold on, BDA, let me.
I know what you're talking about.
This is what I always hear from Never Sobers. Hold on, BDA, let me call you right back. It's like, come on, wait, you can't fix this before you come in here.
That's way too coherent and snappy of a cadence. Like, you know, somebody that's just too stoned. They're just like, hey man, just playing some video games, bro.
But that's
what's up,
bro? But that's the thing that'll happen with Mike Tyson. He was with the dog whisperer once. I remember Cesar Milan, and they got other people around there, and they're outside in a cabana or whatever, and you know they're talking about how you're supposed to educate dogs. You're not supposed to treat them like people. And then Mike Tyson goes, yeah, you know, because I just think that at the end of the day, I think we're all dogs. We're all dogs, and we're all just looking for an owner. And everybody just stays quiet because they think they don't know if he's gonna elaborate more or not. And then they just nod and they go, yeah. And again, they're afraid to call him out. They're afraid to ask follow-up questions like, Mike, what the fuck are you talking about? No, they're all terrified he's gonna bite their ears off. I'm telling you, man, it's that podcast. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody.
Well, you seen it. You seen it live. You seen it when he was a boxer, and Jim Gray, who's a nasty motherfucker. He tells him, I broke my back. And he's like instead of saying that's impossible, he said, what do you mean? What the fuck do you mean? What does he mean? He didn't break his back. He's crazy.
Yeah. Although I think Jim Gray's the only one that can creep Mike Tyson out. Because that dude's a robot. I think he's made of rubber or something. Jim Gray's a frightful looking guy, man. Let me tell you. And cold, too. Cool. I remember
Is that what your priest looks like that you were talking about earlier? Your priest doesn't look like Jim Gray. Like, hello, hi, BDA.
Come on, that's not actually. You know what? It makes sense, man. Like something out of a horror movie. Yeah, man, you're right.
Comes in, he dims the lights. Hi, BDA. How are you?
Prayer time.
It's confession time, BDA.
Yeah.
Turn the lights out.
Gotta look up the little monster.
The little monster.
Dude, somebody should find out. I'm gonna tell you this though about Mike Tyson. I like Mike Tyson a lot. I don't like too baked is too baked, but whatever. Like. I can't argue what he's done for boxing, and I like him. Somebody should find out what his purse is for this fight, this Jake Paul shit, or Logan Paul, or whoever he's fighting, and just take up for lack of a better term, take up a collection, whatever. I'm talking about the sanctioning bodies, the fucking promoters, Top Rank, Golden Boy, King even. They should just cut him a check. What he's going to make in this stupid
Pay him to not
freak
take
show.
this fight.
Yeah, just compensate him. I mean, whatever he's doing, he's obviously doing it for the money. I know he says he just wants to fight and all this bullshit, but fuck that, dude. Come on, man. You got to have some respect for
Mike
the sport.
Tyson was a little bit younger. Put it this way, not even a little bit younger. If I knew Mike Tyson's like this, I'm going to kill this dude right now, and he was like training for that, I'll be taking collection for his bail money. That's basically it.
Oh, wait a minute.
Because he would kill this dude. He will murder him.
He's going to get hurt, Mike Tyson.
Maybe.
Yeah,
57, dude. 57, 58 years old. Come on, dude.
I mean, only recognized can get away with that. But you know what? That's the other thing is people keep posting clips of Mike Tyson hitting the pads, and they don't. It's only like this 10-second clips. Bam, 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 bam. Like, he can't sustain that.
2 seconds. 2 seconds.
2 seconds. Now, don't get me wrong, though. Jake Paul's stamina is equally as bad for a guy that's half his age. So, I mean, maybe Mike Tyson was rushing Roy Jones, and Roy Jones had to clinch his way to a 4-round draw or whatever that was because it was an exhibition. But I don't know if Jake Paul has the wherewithal to do that. But you're right, though. He can crack. And Mike Tyson is a middle-aged guy.
He can't crack, but he could crack a 57-year-old guy. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, he sucks. But if he lands on a 57-year-old guy, it's going to be not pretty. And another thing is, Roy Jones is a little bit older, number one. And number two, I just don't think Roy Jones would actually put away Mike Tyson. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, he doesn't give a shit about having a Mike Tyson KO on his record. It didn't really mean nothing to him. He was just doing it for an exhibition type thing. So even if he had hurt Mike Tyson or felt like he had him hurt, I don't think that Roy Jones would finish him. But this fucking dipshit will. This Paul kid. I mean, he'll throw haymakers at him and he'll try.
You know what, Pete? That's funny you say that about Roy. I thought Roy took it easy on Trinidad, man. I think he liked him.
I wouldn't doubt it. I haven't seen that fight in a long time, but I wouldn't doubt that.
There was times where I was like, wait a second, why is he not opening up right there?
Yeah, he's got respect for him, right? I mean, like, he's not looking to embarrass the guy, right?
Exactly, yep.
Yeah.
I mean, not embarrass the guy. He kept fucking showboating every time he dropped him, sticking his tongue out. He was embarrassing the guy.
Well, I mean, I think that was enough, right? Like, in his mind, he's like, yeah, that's enough.
But like he didn't do like what he did to like Montel Griffin in the second fight. I mean, he didn't like just go off on him.
Maybe he couldn't.
Yeah, maybe Roy was a little past his. Yeah, I think he was. Matter of fact, no. When that fight happened, I'm sorry. That fight happened. I know because I was there. He was past it. He already been knocked out a few times.
Wait a minute. Okay. Let me just clarify.
Was way past it.
Let me just clarify.
But Trinidad was way past it, though.
Yeah, he was. And he was fighting two weight divisions above his best. But by the way, recognize, so that fight took place in 2008. That was in Madison Square Garden. They let you back in after the 96 riots?
Oh, yeah. No, I got him that cleared up when it, so when it happened, right? So when everything went down, I kind of cleared up my name because they were like, oh, that I was one of the people fighting in the garden. I was like, nah, I wasn't, bro, I got arrested outside, not in the fucking garden.
Right, that makes a difference.
Yeah, big difference because
absolutely
what they're trying to say was I was part of the riot, and I was
at the Riddick Bowe Galata fight.
Yeah.
He's the one that started it.
That's awesome,
but he doesn't want to admit it. But
PDA spreading rumors.
He's the one that blindsided Lou Duva.
Yeah, that was me. Motherfucker, you
cocksucker.
Yeah, but I mean, it's interesting that they let Recognize back in. I mean, he's saying that everything got cleared up. I think maybe he cleared it up with a couple of C notes. Hey man, come on, man, let me back in.
Hey, listen, I was that guy. Just put it that way. I was that guy.
That's right. You gave him a couple of bootleg DVDs. What was out in 2008? Cloverfield. You gave him a couple of bootleg Cloverfield DVDs, and they're like, "Oh shit, that hasn't come out." And they're like, "Yeah."
You guys told them loose change too. Remember that 9/11 conspiracy thing? I gave it that.
Always converting people to the cause. By the way, Solvers, before we go, man, you haven't given us your prediction for the Fury Usyk fight.
Yeah, I've been going back and forth in my head, man, because I know I've been wanting Usyk to win, right? But I feel like Fury's getting like unjustly kind of pushed aside, like he can't. Like it's already almost a faint idea that he can win,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and Ryan Garcia, you know, trolled everybody. And
That's
you know who's
true.
a real troll? You know who a real troll is? Like literally, he's a troll. Look at the size of him,
Nah, come on.
Tyson Fury, bro. And
Hey,
he'll troll everybody, bro. So
So you're
you know
saying
what I mean? Like I think he'll come in his shape.
so you're saying
What happened?
physically he
Oh,
looks like a troll, and he will troll people as well. Is what you're saying?
I
Yes,
think that
like literally and figuratively, he's both.
I think Sobers brings up something very interesting. I don't like this dismissing Fury shit. I'd really like, bro, don't do that. Do not do that, man. Because this is boxing. And remember this. He is the bigger man. Not by a few, a lot.
That's
So,
right. Yeah, that's
and it's
that's why I
boxing.
keep people have this impression that all Usyk needs to do is show up and he'll win. Nah, man, look, he's fighting a guy that's 6 feet 7.5 inches tall. He can box a little bit. He's got ability. Anything can happen
Yeah,
in
you
that
keep
ring.
saying 6'7.5". He's 6'9". I'm
No,
telling
he's
you.
not, man. He's not.
6'9".
He's not. He's not.
Is he a fucking
Okay,
forward?
I want you.
Is he an
I want
NBA
you.
forward for the Hawks or some shit? Hey, listen, what
I want people.
6'9"?
I want
Hey,
people. I
hold
want
on,
people to
Recognize.
go
One
back.
at a time. One at a
Let
time.
me just
One at a
ask you
time.
real quick, though, both of you guys. Let me just ask everybody real quick.
Yeah.
What do you think that Tyson Fury weighs when he steps on the scale? Anybody got a guess? Like 70, 60, 65?
I'm gonna say 265.
Yeah, me too.
Yep,
Anybody
265.
else got a under over on that? Anybody? BDA?
I'd
Over
say
to
over, a little
Yeah,
over.
over 260. Obviously under 270.
I think Usyk is gonna come in under 220, but no more than 220. I have a feeling he's gonna come.
I agree. He looks a lot smaller than he did in those AJ fights.
Yeah,
I mean, and he's usually real good about hiding that. You know, like in that first AJ fight when he got to London, it wasn't in Saudi, it was in London, right? The first one was in London.
Yeah.
yeah. The first one was in London.
Yeah, when he arrived in London, and you know, keep in mind the last time we had seen him fight was that Chisora fight. But when he arrived in London, he had these real baggy ass clothes on, like real baggy, loose, like uncharacteristic of these Ukrainian guys, these Eastern Europeans. They usually wear like real tight shit. But like he had these real baggy like layers on, and when he was at the weigh-in, I was like, holy shit, this guy gained 20 pounds. Usyk gained 20 pounds, dude. He was huge for him. I mean, but this time here, he's been doing some media stuff with his like his boxing trunk on or whatever, and he looks back to 220-ish. It's pretty small.
Yeah.
But fast, though, that means fast. He'll have that speed. It'll probably look like Lomachenko and Haney, to be honest with you.
I mean, but see, that's the thing, though. It's Haney had comparable hands. I think he was slightly faster than Lomachenko. I don't think Fury's faster than Usyk. So that's why I was saying earlier in the show that maybe he's gonna have to rely on timing, and if that doesn't work, then he's gonna have to fucking use his physicality to try to maul.
If you thought Haney was faster than Loma, then it won't look like that. Then I didn't think that. So yeah, no, I agree with you. Usyk's faster, for sure.
Yeah, man. But okay. But what I was also trying to say is this, like, Recognize was saying the concept that some people appear to be predicting this fight as if all Usyk has to do is he wins, even on an off night. And I disagree, man. When he's fighting these guys that have a 3-inch advantages, height advantages over him, and 10, 15 pounds over him, he has to redline it. And on top of that, I've seen pictures of some of the monsters he's sparring. I mean, usually, like for me, I spar anybody, and it doesn't matter. But guys like him, he's human. It's taking its toll on him to be sparring these guys and to be training for and to be eating to maintain this weight. He says he has to eat a lot to maintain this. Now, it could be BS. I don't know. I enjoy eating, but the point is,
well, he eats a lot of. I've seen like he posts a lot of his meals, so it's just like a lot of fucking protein and shit. I mean, sometimes too much protein, can fuck you up. But
he's probably farting up a storm too. If he's drinking those fucking shakes,
exactly.
Imagine being near him during training camp, man. My goodness gracious.
Clear it out.
Yeah, it's like Chernobyl in there. But yeah, so my thing is he's redlining it. He's redlining it to look the way. I mean, even the Joshua rematch, I thought he clearly won it, but he was more competitive than the first one, and that was partially because of Joshua was more relaxed. He was going to the body more. Just he made some adjustments. But Usyk, you could tell it was a hard fight for him. These are hard bouts. He's taking shots to the arms, to the body. So he has to show up in shape here and be sharp. Like they say, sharp.
Great game plan. Great game plan in that second AJ fight from Robert Garcia and AJ. I thought that Garcia had a great game plan and AJ executed it. I thought it was good. I thought that was just AJ improving.
Well, that's because AJ
almost worked for AJ. It almost that ninth round was looking really bad for Usyk.
Yeah,
it almost worked. You know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think you're just looking at the. I thought then, and I don't. Nothing that I've seen has changed my mind. I think that was just the two best heavyweights in boxing, fighting twice back to back. And just because AJ came up short both times, it's like you write the guy off, and all of a sudden, Fury's some like world beater now. It's like, nah, dude, he's cringy as fuck. He's herky jerky, erratic. He knocked out Wilder one fight, but I don't know. We'll wait for the drug test to come back because he's on that gas this fight.
Yeah, that's true. Huh? If we learn anything from the Garcia fight, now I do. Mike Tyson's probably gonna be there. In Saudi Arabia, they always invite him, and he'll never miss a chance to go there. They probably get some good hash. They probably get some good hash or something. Another guy that probably will make it there is Amir Khan because he's a Muslim. He's royalty over there. I wonder if there's going to be another encounter like the one we saw. I believe it was last year in another one of those Saudi Arabian courts.
With the hand fondling.
I mean, hey, listen.
Look at these hands.
Where is it? I'm trying to stall here because I can't find the clip. But where is it?
Look at these hands.
How many people have you knocked out with these hands?
Look at them.
Countless.
Look at these hands. Look at these hands.
He's like countless.
Look at them. Yeah. Tyson's like, all right, let go of my hand, dude. It's all right.
The main man, Mike. Mike, how many people you knock out with this?
Oh no.
With these hands?
48, but 200 in the street.
What the fuck, man?
With this.
Who's giggling like that? Tyson or Khan?
With this.
With
this.
I mean, what's going on here, man? What is going on? What is the fondling of the hands is something to behold.
With this.
Well, he's interlocking his fingers too. Look, he got his fingers coming.
I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come.
Look at these hands. Look at these hands. Oh my goodness. Look at these hands.
Yeah, and then
after he let go of his hands, he looked like Philip Seymour Hoffman and in Boogie Nights after he tried to kiss Dirk Diggler. I'm sorry, dude. I'm wasted. My guy's like, what the fuck, man? I'm sorry, dude. I'm just wasted. I'm really drunk.
Do you want to kiss me? No. He keeps asking. Such a stupid movie, man. I mean, such a stupid scene, man. I mean, what's the point? What was the point of that scene? Man?
Come on,
what was that saying, BDA, that you have, that little soundbite from Boogie Nights? That's not right. That's not cool.
Oh, yeah, that one too. Well, let me play this one too.
Can I kiss you on the mouth?
No!
Please let me. I'm really drunk. Really, I am. I'm out of my head.
I'm out of my head. Yeah.
Sounds like Jackson.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Pete's going after everybody today. He's going after me, after sobers. What's going on here?
Nah.
Hold on, I'm trying to find the other one.
All in jest.
Well, come on. It's just all in fun, guy.
I'm trying to find the one that recognized one. Where is it? Hold on. I know I got it here somewhere. I really got to get this shit organized. Here we go.
It's not right. It's not right. It's not cool. It's not right. It's not cool.
Yeah, where did he go? He's talking about, this John Holmes. It's always about beating up some girl. That's not right. It's not cool. I mean, it's not sexy, Jack. It's just not sexy the way it's supposed to be. And then the guy goes, Burt Reynolds goes, well, I'll crank up the typewriter when I get home, see what I get. They're talking like as if they're going to make Oppenheimer or something. They're making a porn movie. The scene when he's in when they're doing the first Dirk Diggler movie and they're in the editing room and he goes, I think this is my masterpiece. And the editor goes, it's a real movie, Jack. It's not a real movie. It's a piece of shit.
That was his whole thing throughout the movie, that he wanted to use real film, like 30 millimeter film instead of like VHS. Like, I will never shoot on a VHS.
He was a purist. He was a purist,
Yeah.
man. All right, well, listen, we gotta go. I think we've said it all here. We will try to be back with another episode here. Probably a call-in show. Definitely open lines Friday. But that's gonna be hectic. Everybody, man, wear a condom or something, man, because it's gonna get hectic. And hey, hit the like as well. Hit the like. Before we go, hit the like, fellas.
You didn't even let me get my prediction, BDA.
You did say. You said use Usyk decision.
He
I
was
said I
working
want to
through
go
it.
with that.
He was saying, "Don't
Yeah.
write off Fury." Yeah, go ahead, Sobers.
No,
No,
don't
I
go
can't
ahead. No,
decide
excuse
yet,
me,
so I'll
excuse me,
say
excuse
next
me. I
time.
call
On
the
the ne- I'll say on the
shots.
next show.
Excuse me, I call the shots. I call it. You don't go, Sobers. You don't go.
BDA, shut your cornhole.
All right, go ahead, Sobers. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Give your
Before we go, go ahead, Sobers. Go ahead.
I said I don't. I said actually undecided still, bro. I have to wait for the next.
So he makes him go through all that just to say this. See that? See what he did there?
He's doing it on purpose. It's all to disrespect me. I know what you guys do. After the show, you laugh behind my back, giggling there like American. I know what's going on here. I think I know.
Hey, somebody soundbite that laugh. Somebody soundbite
These
that
hands.
one. I want that laugh.
48, but like 200 in the street. 200
How
in the
many
street.
people have these knocked out? Have these knocked out with
How many
this?
people have you knocked out? How many people have you knocked out with those
Look at
hands?
this. Look at this.
Look at
How
these,
many
look at
people
these
have you
hands.
knocked out?
Look at these hands.
You guys are.
What did
you
he have
guys
the
are-
mic? Was the mic like right up next to his mouth? He was like, "Fucking look at this! Look at his hands right here. How many people
Yeah,
knocked out?"
hey, Pete, he had the mic in his throat already.
Hey,
He
you
was like
see,
licking those lips.
you see
Look
what
at
you
his
started
hands
in
right
the.
here.
You see what you started in the chat. People are saying now, Knockout Ned says Mr. BDA got excited talking about porn, and now he's ending the show abruptly. I mean, come on, see what you guys started.
Dude, Knockout Net is on to you.
It's a family show, and you guys. I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna do afterwards? I'm gonna go read the Bible. I'm not gonna go watch pornography. Been there, done that, man. Anyway, listen. The point is this.
That's why all the pages in Genesis are stuck together.
Ah, come on. It's Genesis. There's nothing sexual. If you would have gone with.
You got to read the book of Job. You got to read
the
the book
book
of Job.
of what's the one? The one with the poems and everything. There's one that's actually quite erotic in there in the book of songs or whatever it's called.
Psalms.
Quit
Psalms,
acting like you don't remember it, BDA. You know which one it is.
I
Yeah,
mean,
you know
listen,
exactly which one it is. You're not fooling anybody.
Well, by the way, I'm old school. I'm old school. I don't need pornography. I don't need visual stimuli to get it going, man. I mean, it's all. I got a memory bank right here, man. Right here. Anyway, listen. The point is.
You got a full spank bank.
That's right. Yeah, the spank bank. There you go. All right, listen. Before this gets too dirty, we gotta go, man. But shout out to everybody in the chat, everybody in the panel. I want to give a shout out to Jimmy, who had to leave. Recognize Never Sobers, Pete, Uncle Pete. Everybody who called in, shout out to you guys. Everybody that donated with the super chat, really appreciate it. You guys keep us afloat. Let me just see if I miss a super chat here. I don't wanna alienate anybody. Oh yeah, excuse me, I forgot Chet Collins. Chet Collins, shout out to Chet Collins for his contribution with the super chat. He says, I got Usyk by late KO. Whoa, Fury coming in light will favor Usyk. Will Fury run from the rabbit? Well, that's an interesting way of putting it right there. So I'm going to write it down. Chet Collins, Usyk late stoppage. All right. Shout out to Chet Collins. And again, don't forget to hit the like on the way out, fellas. Hit the like. It really helps us out. We'll try to be back with another episode before the end of the week. And that's about it. Shout out to you, everybody. Who do we got here? We got... what's going on?
Never Sobers.
I already said Sobers. I already gave you guys a shout out. Oh, Warp Speed. Shout out to Warp Speed. One of the initiated, Chet Collins, Vince Vegas, Tan Vakarian, Fight or Flight Boxing, Knockout Ned, The Quags, Unknown, Uncle Burnt Apostrophe, Earl Stevens, Earl, The Quags, Dark Hay Dog, Super Sardonic, Team Batman Boxing, That Rebel Dog, Baron Evola, Pale Rider. And if I forgot anybody, it's because we got to go. But shout out to you guys. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. We will catch you on the next one. Stay frosty out there.
Disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.